morning and welcome to Breaking Dawn this morning. It is Wednesday. We are at the middle of the week, and of course it's been a very, very exciting week in Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm going to use the word exciting because that's what Trinidadians, you know, that's what we are accustomed to, right? Excitement. While the fetting done, the excitement continues. More bacchanal. And we're talking about the incident in East Port of Spain that took place with the killing of Akil Christmas James, all right? And all the protest action that took place there. You know, people were virtually held to ransom. Some people could not get to work on that particular day. Some schools were called off. You know, they dealt with it the way that we've seen people in particular hotspot areas when the police execute duties there. You know, the way that they react towards the officers in the process of their duty in that type of fashion. Like I was talking about a little bit earlier this week when that incident happened. We were talking about what happened on the Beetham and how the rest of the country were practically held to ransom, right? So in lieu of all of that, we have Gary Griffith, former Minister of National Security, this morning. He's just on his side there and he's ready to go. He's already here. And we want to prepare to have him on. We'll have him on in just a few moments. I want to say good morning to all of our regional viewers as well. And I also want to say good morning to everybody on social media on our live stream this morning. And I want to let you guys know that you will be part of this discussion this morning because we're going to be going at it very hard, very fast this morning. We'll be talking about the riot situation in Port of Spain that took place on Monday. Thankfully, the police and the army were out there and keeping a tight watch on the community. And this eventually led to, you know, calm coming to, you know, that particular area on Tuesday, which was yesterday. And of course, this morning, hopefully that will continue. In the paper this morning, as we take a very quick look inside the paper, the front page of the paper, there's one particular headline I want to bring to your attention, and that is police rescue teacher from attack badge on parents. Now, I saw that headline this morning. I was a bit disturbed, but having read the article, I don't think I could really comment on it because what is happening is that the teacher has one story, and according to the Ministry of Education, they received a different story from the school. So until the investigation is over, because the school supervisor for that education district is investigating the matter, I don't think I'll comment on that. And, you know, the headline, badge on parents, could be seen as being somewhat misleading because of the difference in the story. What the teacher is saying is that a parent, she was called into the principal office, and a parent was there, and the parent was very irate that she had insulted, let me see, it's a daughter? I think it's a daughter. She had insulted her daughter. And the parent put some threats to the teacher, who is 6 months pregnant, by the way. All right? And, you know, having read the story, you could take a read in the story. I don't want to take up too much time with this on page 3. But, you know, the parent said, the teacher is saying that when the woman ran out of steam, the principal asked what I had to say, and I replied that I would not answer the parent because she wasn't speaking to me properly. To this, the parent threatened me saying, quote, "You see me, I telling my daughter anytime you interfere with her to go ahead and bust your face." That's what the teacher is saying the parent said. Okay? And then the parent eventually returned because she threatened that, you know, after school I'll deal with you and that kind of thing. And then returned with a piece of wood, and then when the police got there, the piece of wood disappeared. And, you know, the Education Ministry is saying that they got a different version from the school. All right? The report they received from the school differed from the teacher's version. So I'm not going to go there this morning. Just below that, mom says cops murdered Christmas. That's the mother of Akil Christmas James. The mother yesterday insisted that the police had murdered her son in cold blood, and she would leave no stone unturned in her quest for injustice. 59 years jail for raping a child. That's on page 5. Maxi bandits in court today. That's the bandits that robbed the Maxi during Carnival with the Bahamians and so on and so forth, who were robbed during the Carnival season when they were heading out of it. Right. Wife killer gets 15 years. Bald head shot dead. Central Division seized guns and drugs, no patients affected by riots. Health Minister Terence Yalsing yesterday said no patients. Medical treatment was compromised by the closure of 4 health centers in East Port of Spain as a result of riots there on Monday. Well, you know, he said clinic appointments are never for acute or life-threatening cases. But it must have affected people in some way. Because if you had an appointment for Monday, and God knows the pressure that we have to go through to get an appointment, right? The length of time you had to wait to get an appointment. When you do get the appointment and you go to the medical health centers, you have to sit there and wait for a specific amount of time. It's a whole day that you have to put aside to go to the health center, to get a treatment, So when you make an appointment for Monday, good, and the health centers are closed, regardless of if it's acute or life-threatening treatment that you're going for, you have lost a day. So yes, you have been affected because you have lost a day. Now, you're going to have to get another appointment. Good? And if they move those appointments from Monday to Tuesday and they add it to the appointments they have on Tuesday, then you have a backlog of appointments, which means you have to go there and sit even longer. So yes, you're inconvenienced in some way. No fault of the Minister of Health and the Healthcare and the health centers, but of course, that is the fault of the rioting that took place that caused these things to happen. Good? So that's all I'm saying. So don't come to tell me no patients affected. People are affected because from the time you cannot get your appointment you have lost your appointment due to the rioting and the closure of the health centers, you have been affected, you have lost a day. That is a day you will never get back in your entire life. Yeah, Lord. Inmates lukewarm on prison release program and toxic waste dumped in ponds, schools and town hall evacuated. Former judge goes after compensation. And Robert Amar has responded to attorney Michael Kwamina's letter. There was this whole letter, Voice works at 104.7, Mr. Voice, and he knows of the letter. He received a letter from Housing Minister Randall Mitchell. Chairman of Mo FM 104.7, Robert Amar, has responded to attorney Michael Kwamina's informing him that if his Kwamina client, Housing Minister Randall Mitchell, has cocoa in the sun, then the radio station will inform the public. Amar emailed Kwamina on Monday in response to a letter sent by the latter threatening legal action concerning the station's ground report program. All right? And there's a whole issue there of some things that apparently the host had to say concerning Housing Minister Randall Mitchell. A letter was sent saying legal action will be taken if you continue making these statements, and leave it to Robert Amar to say, we'll inform if Mitchell has cocoa in the sun. So he's saying, he wrote back to the lawyer saying, if your client has cocoa in the sun, we'll let the public know. That's the only way I know Robert Amar to respond to these kind of things. All right? Absenteeism worries CXC. Rashorty Eye concert will take place at UE. is having one for him. Wade Mark tells Senate kickbacks from Komuto Manzanilla Highway. That's another thing that we'll be focusing on. But right now, we want to get Gary Griffith on this morning because we want to talk about, inside this entire hour and maybe part of the second hour, we want to ensure that we cover the conversation concerning these riots, how the police deal with it, why we don't see the use of tear gas and rubber bullets like people were saying earlier in the week, where the crime situation is in Trinidad and Tobago. I also want to find out, it just seems like the police are a bit frustrated these days because in carrying out their duties, they're hampered in several different ways. And we're going to find out about that as well. Some of the frustrations that the police have to face on a daily basis in executing their duties, especially in situations like this. We're going to talk about the terror attack, the terror threat, not attack, the terror threat recently and terrorism in Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to talk about that as well, okay, amongst other things. So we will also engage you, the public, inside this hour and open the phone lines and take some calls. Now, when we open the phone lines with Gary this morning, if you have a question to ask it and bust out, and he'll answer the question. If you have a comment to make, Get straight to the point, make your comment. We want to keep them as short as possible so that we ensure that we take as many calls as possible and we allow as many people in to give their opinion and their thoughts on these particular issues, because crime continues to be an issue that it seems like we cannot deal with it on any level. That's what it seems like to me. All right? So we'll take a break, and when we return, stay tuned. Gary Griffith is here, and we're going to chat with him after this.
This is a call for all restaurants and supermarkets to get your business online.
Get your business on the most cutting-edge, customer-friendly, results-guaranteed food delivery app in the Caribbean, Food Now TT.
It's time to celebrate. FoodNowTT.com is here.
Yes, I said Food Now TT. We're fast, we're efficient, and we are guaranteed to help improve your business by 100%.
For more info and a free sign-up, call 222-9854 or email food@foodnowtt.com or even WhatsApp
341-1892. You can even come into our office at 216 Eastern Main Road, El Dorado, and get your free registration done today. Get your business to be viewed by millions, because with Food Now TT, your restaurant or supermarket is just a click away.
FoodNowTT.com is here.
Want it? Click it. Get it.
This is Tactical Enterprise, leading wholesalers for all cell phone accessories, cell phone armored cases, OtterBox cases, tempered glass, memory cards, headphones, chargers, flash drives, and more. Located in Cunupia, Trinidad, they supply cell phone store owners wherever they are, in Trinidad and Tobago or across the Caribbean. If you want to get high quality cell phone accessories at the lowest price, then check out Tactical Enterprise in Cunupia. They work with and supply small, medium, and large retailers. So give them a call at 716-2900 or email them at tacticalenterprise@hotmail.com. They offer free delivery to any part of Trinidad and Tobago. Tactical Enterprise.
Eating for Lent is as easy as 1, 2, 3 at Royal Castle with their 3 tasty meal specials. Get the fish combo of 2 succulent pieces of fish, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or the fish sandwich combo of a tender, tasty sandwich, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink. The Castle uses the freshest fish with its famous enticing local seasonings. There's even a flavorful veggie combo option of a sandwich, a side, and a 16-ounce soft drink. Get more options from Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste for Lent.
Welcome to Rassam Restaurant, located at Grand Bazaar. Rassam's is a family-oriented restaurant. They cover a wide range of international dishes with a focus on Indian, Hakka, and Thai cuisine. Rassam Restaurant also features live entertainment while you dine, with buffet nights on Fridays and Saturdays. They also offer catering both in-house and outside for religious and corporate functions, birthdays, anniversaries, and more. Come and experience the dining difference today at Rassam Restaurant Grand Bazaar. Contact them at 645-0994 and 373-4227.
The Next Generation Limited. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited. Your original one-stop school shop. Your #1 choice for the widest variety of top quality stationery, school books and bags, school shoes and socks, and ready-made uniform. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited is also authorized retailers for a wide range of top brand name products. They're also the home for Sebastian school shirts and pants. Quality you can depend on for generations. And nobody, I mean nobody beats their prices. The Next Generation Limited. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited, with 2 locations to serve you. #1, Tabaquite Road, Rio Claro. Telephone 644-BOOK. That's 644-2665. And #3, Guaguari Road, Mayaro. Phone 630-BOOK or 630-2665. The Next Generation Limited. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited. Ready to serve you, because you are an exceptional customer that deserves exceptional quality, price, and service.
Air conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including manual and hydraulic crimpers, pressure test kits, refrigerator parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis, accessories. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their two locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Roland Street at Bonaventure Maynard, Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
So we're back here this morning and we're with former Minister of National Security Gary Griffith and a man who's also up for the post of Commissioner of Police if that process is still in play, because we know to have a little discrepancy with that. But we didn't go there this morning because I want to go there. All right, because somebody told me yesterday, I told him I'd have Gary Griffith on this morning to talk about the situation at Monday and some other topics, and the person's response was, boy, they'll never make Gary Griffith Commissioner of Police because he'll lock up his own mother. That's what the person said, he'll arrest his own mother. So I said, all right, cool. But Gary's here this morning. We're going to get into depth with this situation that took place, how prepared the police were, or the national security agencies to deal with this, because it's the second time in recent times this happened, because we had the incident on the Beatam that went totally out of control. And the entire country was held to ransom that day. Nikki Crosby put out a video. She was...
yes, I recall, yes.
You know, she was traumatized with the incident. People's vehicles got damaged. It seems like, you know... And there was... Nothing ever came out of it. Nobody was arrested, really, for carrying out those sort of actions. So we had this incident that took place on Monday with the killing of Akil Christmas James. We want to get straight into it. The residents in the area are saying this was an execution, right? Now they also said that the police shot a disabled guy, the deaf.
Yes, that's right.
But by the video evidence, I don't know if you saw it. There was a clear sound of a gunshot going off, and there were no police in the vicinity. The police were further down the road, and then they had the guy and they were bringing him out. So it appears to me that somebody shot the guy and then tried to blame it on the police. Now, I know the police, it would appear, forget dirty police, forget the cleaning out of the police service. It seems like the police themselves frustrated to some level, right? In situations like this, because every time they go into communities like this to execute the duties, they're verbally abused, you know, and they're given the short end of the stick. So how we have to move forward to deal with particular scenarios like this? And how was this dealt with on Monday? Was this dealt with in a professional manner?
Understood. Okay, well, good morning to you and your many viewers. Just going back quickly to your first point, you spoke about with the shooting of the individual. Through ballistic testing, it can be verified whether, or you can look at all the police officers, look at their weapons, look at the type of rounds they had, and through ballistic testing, you can be able to verify if it is that shot actually came through any of the weapons that was actually in the possession of the police officers at that time. Yeah. Now going back to the general point, there were three critical things that I picked up immediately that caused the ball being dropped badly on Monday. The first has to do with a lack of leadership from the law enforcement perspective. Right. When there's for need for crowd control, the drills for counter-revolutionary warfare for crowd control, you need to have somebody there who can be the negotiator, somebody that will be there to speak to the crowd. On many occasions, these matters can be quelled within minutes. If it is because many times the public, they're emotional, there's a volatile situation, they're frustrated, and they want to have their voices, somebody listen to them. That was absent, and it continues to be. There's the Commissioner of Police, the Deputy Commissioners of Police, no sign of them whatsoever. In any other developed country, you will automatically see the Commissioner of Police at the front. If somebody is kidnapped, if there's a rape, if 2 or 3 people are killed, the Commissioner of Police in New York City will be the first person doing a press conference. Right. We don't see that here. What we have are very senior officers in the 1st Division. They love the colonial type uniform with the brown gabardine cap, the brown uniform, and a cane and spin it around. In this situation, it does not call for that type of leadership. The Prime Minister spoke about revolutionary leadership. Monday was an example of where it was required. Total absence. When you have junior police officers now, there's nobody for them to act as the negotiator. It's a specific type of training and leadership that is required. So there was an absence of leadership. Second has to do with the convenient use of technology. Now I'm hearing Hodge Griffith from the police service boasting that they're going to use the cameras to identify the perpetrators of the persons who actually may have broken the law in the riot.
Rioting and stuff, and have them brought before the justice system.
What is quite hypocritical and unfortunate and unprofessional is the fact that if it is that you knew that you were going into a raid like that, you know you were going into a house of someone who is a person of interest, you will expect that that is what is going to come from the residents because they see these individuals as the Robin Hood of their neighborhood. Why not have the body cams put on those police officers when the raid was made? Similar to what is done in the SWAT, SWT, and other counter-terrorist units. When they go in there, they make sure they have the cameras so they are covered, so that any nonsense, any citizen will come and say, well, you all killed the man in cold blood. Right. We have the video footage.
So and they said the body cams were here.
And the body cams are here. Right. So it shows either it was deliberately not done or total incompetence by the persons who actually orchestrated that operation. So as much as Hodge Griffith will boast about using technology of cameras to arrest the civilians, why not use it for the operation itself? So this would have never happened. The third has to do, again, with the third matter of concern has to do with not understanding how to use these operational policies for counter-revolutionary warfare in a situation such as this. For crowd control, it's a specific drill. It is not a drill. If you look at the video footage of several police officers with semi-automatic rifles trying to grab a man by his belt, and the man is running, and the police officers drawing their firearm, going after the crowd. It was total bad drills, and it has nothing to do with the officers on the spot. In fact, I felt sorry for them. If you look at how these officers are lined off, that is not how you deal with crowd control. Crowd control is a specific type of drill. It's drills pertaining to police officers with shields. They are protected. In the back, in the area, they are vehicles. They are armored vehicles that can then push forward. There's a riot-type vehicle that can clear debris within seconds. Then you have their shields, they have helmets, you have persons with batons, then you have the other elements to minimum use of force through tasers, pepper spray, stun guns. None of these things were there. Then you have individuals. Now, who's the negotiator? He will speak to the senior person. If the senior person who is inciting the riot is not listening, he's causing the problem, then you have the snatch squad. The snatch squad will comprise not persons with semi-automatic rifles trying to grab persons by their belt, but they rush in there, they grab the person, they pull him back behind the shields, they throw him into the vehicle. That, on most occasions, that will just diminish the situation. None of those things took place. So again, it shows so the three main things had to do with lack of leadership by the law enforcement agencies, improper use of technology such as the body cameras, and trying to understand how these drills are supposed to take place. And again, going back to what I spoke about, the rapid response unit. When I drafted and established the rapid response unit similar to NYPD and London, most of the London Metropolitan Police, where they were GPS on all these vehicles. So you're speaking about 4 RRU units in each constituency. In situations like that, with these vehicles being GPS tracked, through a national operations center, they would have immediately called for an all-point bulletin for these vehicles to turn up. I remember last year I was in London. 2 guys were just having a fist fight outside Westfield Mall. Within 10 minutes, there were 11 rapid response vehicles, an ambulance and a fire truck. I don't know what the fire truck was there for. And they locked down the area. That is how it is done. So it's when you put that massive amount of force, the citizens automatically back off. When they see several police officers alone, they are going to feel that they can bully the police officers. Exactly. And so for several hours, you did not have those amount of officers. You didn't have that backup. So again, it shows the importance of using technology through GPS tracking, calling for an all-point bulletin, using the National Operations Center. And again, the head of the law enforcement agencies, especially the police service, they need to embrace technology and not to resent it because you don't understand it.
No, in terms of, well, I know it have different types of police or different type of situation. Do we have a riot squad? Are they equipped? Do they have the equipment necessary to carry out the duties?
There are units, you will see the GEB and other units and the IATF. They have the capability, but to deal specifically with crowd control, I think what is required is to make sure that we have the drills proper. And it seems, based on what we saw there, it is not. Because the officers who were actually placed in that position, it seemed that they were not very well versed in understanding crowd control. Because they, and again, in fairness to the officers, they were, when you have officers in public like that, they could have been shot. This whole thing was, they were drills badly done. And there was no senior police officer who would be properly trained to be able to explain. Look at them, they're all actually cornered.
Yeah.
They could have, the citizens could have, one person could have just struck them, and it would have turned into a total mayhem with the police officers probably being attacked. And that is where it is important to understand crowd control. I drafted a special operation group that Commissioner Stephen Williams refused to, as a minister, I could establish policies, but he has to operationalize those policies. When
just before you go further, right?
Sure.
Because yesterday I had a caller calling and he said, boy, Gary Griffith was there as the Minister of National Security and he didn't solve the problem in his time, you know. We still have the problem and we still listen to that. That brings me to the point that you know about to make. So go ahead and make your point in terms of a Minister of National Security.
Sure.
The ideas that you have, the things you want to implement, but how that system works.
Well, the minister's job is to establish policies.
Right.
And it is then the police to implement the policies. So the person who actually said that, just for his information, in my 18 months, it was the lowest number of serious crime in 31 years. Every crime was reduced by 25 to 83%. Even Carnival in 2014 and 2015, 100% on 3 of the television stations rated it as the safest carnival ever. There was never one incident that took place. There was the highest visibility, it was the highest deterrent. If you recall, people started complaining that they were seeing too many blue lights and seeing too many police vehicles on the highways. There was a system for measurement of performance and accountability. So that person, probably they were living in Mars, they didn't understand. Okay. However, many more things could have been established that did not take place because of the resistance by certain persons in the police service because they didn't want to embrace technology. What I was doing is pushing technology in a very heavy form. The establishment of units that I had, the Rapid Response Unit, the Highway Patrol Unit, the Community Comfort Patrol, the Special Operation Group, the Counter-Terrorist Intelligence Unit. The Commissioner of Police refused to embrace any of these things. GPS tracking the police vehicles, monitoring the 999. So if there was a call, immediately that call will be fed through the NOC to the police vehicles, so you will have a response within minutes. Now, the persons who run the RRU, they're boasting, will say, well, no, we had many patrols. The RRU, the Rapid Response Unit, is not based, you don't measure your success on the number of patrols. You measure your success on the speed that you turn up to a distress call. So now if you call 999, you're going to be put on hold again for 20 minutes. Then they're going to say there are no police vehicles because the Rapid Response Units are not being used. I saw Rapid Response Unit being used to transport football teams the other day, Sunday. Wow. And I'm nothing against this sport. I'm really into sport. But use the vehicles for that. Don't use the Rapid Response vehicles. So now you're seeing the Rapid Response vehicles driving through St. James, parked up by drugstores. It is not being used as how it was.
My aunt's carnival Saturday night, my aunt had a purse snatched on Monoram Street. In the purse had the keys for a vehicle, her phone. So she had to borrow her phone to call the police station. So she called the police station and they said, well, we don't have any vehicles, you have to come to the police station.
Yeah, and that is right. So when the Rapid Response, we had arguably about 4 vehicles in each constituency, 160 or 24 hours a day. So what I did was a lockdown. We locked down the country. Right. So that caller obviously has no data. And that is when they play politics. I deal with fact. So with that now, it's a 999 call. You have a concern at the corner of X and Y Street. The GPS, you'll be monitored through the operation center, see where the call is, look at all the other vehicles in closest proximity, and you could call those vehicles to get to the scene. That was, so the success of it is to say, listen, out of 20,000 calls, 11,000, there was a response within 1 minute. 5,000, there was a response between 1 minute and 5 minutes. And that shows the success. Now we're hearing persons saying, well, the Rapid Response Unit was successful last year because we had 2,000 more patrols. It is not the number of patrols. That is why you call it rapid response. Not quantity response. So, and with all of this being shut down, it affected. I mean, going back to my last 45 days, when people say that it can't be done, it's not about me. This is about just using what worked. And the Commissioner of Police, again, unfortunately, when you have the Fred Flintstone type of law enforcement, they feel that all is required is more patrols, more police, more roadblocks, and wrecking vehicles. That was their game plan for Carnival. It is much more than that. You have to utilize technology and the type of units. In the 45-day period, my last 45 days, there were 20 homicides. We were going at a ratio of 180 per annum. The place was locked down. We had it. And it was because of the use of the type of equipment and the assets that we had.
Now you had the armored vehicles and other things set up.
Those were ordered in anticipation of this coming.
Of situations like this.
Yes.
And that was never implemented.
No, it was cancelled. And again, the Commissioner of Police, I hold him responsible. You have a $3.5 billion budget, 3,500 million. He has a budget that is that is more than every government minister bar two, I think. And so he has the capability to say, look, Minister, this is what I want next year in the budget. Right. I need armored vehicles, I need tasers, I need pepper spray, I need a counter-terrorist unit, a covert operative unit, we need a public awareness campaign, we need to have an emergency response system, similar to what we saw recently in Hawaii when there was they stated that there was a missile launched in Hawaii that the whole public was aware of. Those are the things that you use for terrorism, to combat terrorism. That's what you use to deal with improving security, taking away the perception and fear of crime. Mm-hmm. But all of these things that I speak about, it is a different language as some of those senior officers. But again, two of the 4 members of the Police Service Commission wanted to do the same thing and expected different results.
Wow. Now, there's another thing I want to ask you here, right? I just want to kind of bring this in. And you know, because I think it's as similar. It could have ended up in a situation like what took place Monday. The situation in San Fernando on Carnival Tuesday.
Yes.
With the mayor of San Fernando, where the police came to lock it down because of violence in the city. Now I bring this up because you had one of the safest carnivals on the
yes.
Right. So the police decided there was a lot of bottle pelting, people were getting robbed. It was out of control. High level of violence in the city. They come now to say, listen, Carnival lockdown. I said Carnival done, 10 p.m. The mayor now, who is also the captain of Skiffle, decides, well, 12 midnight is 12 midnight. And there's an argument that takes place.
Yes,
a heated discussion. I wouldn't say
yes.
argument. A heated discussion between him and the police officers executing the duties. In front of a large crowd that is supportive of the mayor, whether in his capacity as the mayor or the captain of the steel pan.
Yes.
Good. So you have a large crowd that backing the mayor and giving the police talk now. They're insulting the police. He then eventually makes a call and is allowed to continue. Now, how detrimental is that in terms of the police and the duties that they have to execute on a daily basis? Because it have no way in putting this in any other term. For me, he undermined the police police service in front of a large crowd. Now, had the police left, all right, they want to continue, go ahead. We're going back, everybody back at the station. And the same people that was conducting violence in other parts of San Fernando reaching that crowd, and it had a big riot or something that took place, they would have said the police didn't do their job. And this is what I'm saying. I believe that the police really reach a level of frustration that they can't take it no more.
Yeah.
And they're willing to do whatever they have to do to get the job done. So I mean, in terms of the mayor and his actions on that particular night, you have any statement you want to make on that? Because I mean, I don't see that as something of international. If that was the mayor of New York, I think he had to abide by what the police officer said.
Yeah, and I think that there were errors on both parts. Now, the first thing is to show that's the hypocrisy. This carnival was littered with murders, stabbings, fights, violence. Yeah. And the Gold Commander boasts that it was a safe carnival. I don't know what more you have to. They cannot face reality. Yeah. It was littered, and again, there was no coordination, there was no cohesion. I mean, councillors actually went to meetings that the Gold Commander held, and his whole game plan was the amount of records they're going to have in Port of Spain and San Fernando. That was his game plan to secure carnival. I work with the NCC and we locked down the Savannah for the first time ever. Persons who would have gone to the Savannah would have seen it. We did it similar to what you do in Times Square to see the ball drop, where 1 million people, everybody gets in there. They don't think out the box. So, for example, there's a concern of terrorist threat. You take a bag, somebody drops a bag in the middle of that, on that track. You could have, I mean, they could do untold damage. You needed to sanitize the area, do an ID sweep, bomb sweep, then lock it down. Anyone who enters, you check with their bags. Those are the things where you thought about thinking out the box. Now, going back to that point, unfortunately, I have seen it now. This is not in defense of the mayor. I agree that when the police make a decision, you must abide it. You adhere to it. You can't just go and try to say, well, listen, I'm the mayor, my concern. However, I have seen on several occasions persons who hold authority make knee-jerk decisions without getting the facts. Last year, in this carnival, last year in the North Stand, a fire officer just looked at the North Stand and said, look, too many people, and the fire service, they love doing that. It gives a sense of authority to a few junior officers, and they closed this gate in the Oval, locked down this stand, shut down the North Stand. They shut down the North Stand without any care of concern to understand, is the North Stand overcrowded? By shutting it down, 1,000 people were outside. It was causing a lot of problems. When I went, I called the head of the fire service and the police. I said, count the number of persons through the walk-through scanners. When they counted, there was room for about 1,200 more people. But one junior fire officer, to play that bump his chest, made a decision, and it caused problems. We had it several times in cricket in the Oval. If you go to Old Trafford, 80,000 people will be in the stadium. You have one fire marshal. I was the security manager for the Trinidad team, the World Cup team at the USA game in Colorado. One fire marshal. We come here, you have a little function, they want 50 fire officers. I don't know if they're expecting a fire. but this is the thing that they use to get the extra funds on the side and demand it from you. And this is a typical example. So sometimes the police officer who makes the decision, he makes it without getting to what is known as the VOC, the Venue Operations Center. Get first-hand knowledge. Are we in control? But he will just say, listen, there are a lot of incidents, shut it down. And that is a bad, you can't be making decisions on the ground without speaking to all of these stakeholders. You need to speak to the mayor, you need to speak to the Venue Operations Center, to everyone to say, listen, this is beyond us now. But by that police officer making that decision, and he's probably a senior officer at that time, he probably realized we have never seen such violence before for Carnival. And the goal commander said it was a safe Carnival. So it shows one hand never knows what the other is doing. Hodge Griffith said in Panorama, no persons with firearms allowed. They speak to the higher person. They said, well, yeah, maybe we should. And that's because of lack of coordination. So this year was a typical example. The mayor probably saw it to himself, listen, you're just making this decision because you want to go home. And you're not making an informed decision. My take on this matter is, in future, people should use the Venue Operations Center, not one senior officer saying, well, shut this down, or mayor saying, well, let's keep it going. Lack of coordination and communication. Look what happened. He picks up the phone and it continues. It undermines the senior officers, but again, is it that the senior officer made a knee-jerk decision? Is it that he was on the ground and he should have informed the goal commander or whoever in the Venue Operations Center? There's a clear and present danger. I have never seen so much violence, and this is a reason for it.
And we need to lock it
That was not done. He made a decision, the mayor makes a phone call, and it's shut down. Bad coordination, bad collaboration, and it goes right back to the importance of understanding technology, using a Venue Operations Center where all heads stay in one area. I have established this for all international football and cricket now in Trinidad and Tobago. Some people who go into the Venue Operations Center, they see it as an avenue to get the best view of the house to watch the game. It doesn't work like that. And I'm trying to get us to understand how you deal with security for major events, but sometimes it is like pulling out teeth.
And just before we open the phone lines on this particular topic here, before we get to the terror threat and so on and so forth, I saw a couple of government ministers saying, well, due to the rioting that took place on Monday, this justifies why we need the anti-gang legislation. Okay. You would have first-hand knowledge of the anti-gang legislation.
Sure, yes.
But to a lot of people, including myself, we have existing laws, good, that the police have to work with, right? That those in authority have to work with. But it seems to me like this particular government, the anti-gang legislation is the do-all and end-all of crime in the country. This is it. This is what we need. Once we get this, all, crime going on go down.
Yes.
Right. How effective is that legislation in its current form? Because I saw that the leader of the opposition was willing to talk to the Prime Minister to come to some sort of agreement on how they could move forward with the legislation. How important is that in its current form? And, is it as big a deal in the fight against crime as the Attorney General and some other people are making it out to be?
Sure. It is as big a deal. It is. Okay. It played a very big part to my measured success as security minister, because crime is a product of opportunity. Right. The greater the deterrent, the less likelihood persons would commit crime. just in fact, in 2006, I was the person who first brought the idea of the anti-gang legislation. Okay. In 2006, when I was in the Congress of the People, I did a lot of research looking at Arnold Schwarzenegger in New York and what they did. That's when I brought in Mayor Rudy Giuliani at the time, and the previous Commissioner of Police, Bernard Carrick. They showed me how it was done. And I kept pumping it in the media. Martin Joseph picked it up and he went with it. It works. There are some hiccups that we have here. The police, unfortunately, we saw the problems that took place in 2011 when you arrested 400 members. Intelligence is different to evidence, but the deterrent played a very big part. Without that legislation, these gang members can actually put advertisements now in the newspapers to actually invite persons to join their gangs. And the reason why the gangs, it is important for this legislation, a gang works similar to a business. If I want to run a business on my own, it's going to be difficult. We all work together. We now have a finance manager. We have capital. We analyze the situation. We do a SWOT analysis and so forth. You're more successful. So when you dismantle gangs and you have the persons work as silos, as individuals, it is easier to break them down and to have them arrested. Gangs, they protect each other, they cover each other, and that is why it is so important to dismantle the gangs. The legislation is critical. Having said that, on Monday, if there had been good leadership by the law enforcement agencies being there at the point, leadership by example, do not do things that you will not have your troops do. You should have been there. Right. 2, the use of technology. Had the body cameras been placed, all those persons who were making noise on the streets, you'll be able to say, listen, we have the evidence to show that this man fired at us and we had no choice but to fire back. Right. That was not done. And the 3rd, the proper use of equipment and assets that would have ensured that embarrassing situation did not take place and did not put the lives of police officers at risk. Had those things been done, then we would not have had to resort to being concerned and then speaking about the anti-gang legislation. Those things were not done, but having said that, the anti-gang legislation plays a very critical part. Had I been a member in the opposition, I personally could not understand the reason for not supporting it. You gave the government a get-out-of-jail-free card, and if the rain falls, they're going to blame the opposition. And I think the opposition have now realized they've fallen into a trap. Right. But I always say, and I'm not into the political games, you don't oppose for the sake of opposing. If you're in government, your job is to support everyone. Probably it is I was never meant to be a politician. I always say that if you're a minister, you just do what is required and the votes will come. Right. Somebody in the opposition told the opposition leader, stop it, let's not do it. And there was no logic. The military, they train you about something called then what. When you do this, then what is going to happen? Now, everything that happens, now you are going to be blamed. And they have a good trump card to do it. So now you want to go back to the table, but that should have been there. Should not have been a position of turning against the anti-gang legislation.
So there are concerns with the sunset clause and some other. I mean, they had several concerns with it that they said they were trying to.
Yeah, and I know that is still being discussed. They want that sunset clause within 2 years. It is hoped that good sense will prevail and we can move forward, because the anti-gang legislation is not something that is important for the government but important for the country. For the country.
All right, so I want to open the phone line, 622-9785, 628-6093, 235-3676 and 235-3673. We want to open the phone lines, give you the opportunity to join the discussion, and any questions you have about crime on the whole in Trinidad and Tobago in terms of what happened on Monday or otherwise, this is the opportunity to do so. So we want to accommodate a few calls before we move on to the terror threat and the reality of that terror threat, because a lot of people are of the opinion, because of how it was dealt with and what they heard, some people don't believe that there was a terror threat. Now, I got calls saying that the threat was real, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Stephan. Good morning, Mr. Griffith.
Good morning.
Very, edifying discussion this morning. Mr. Griffith, after listening to you for the first 5 minutes, I am surprised that you are not either the Minister of National Security, irrespective of political differences, or the Commissioner of Police. This is the kind of approach that I think we need to take as it relates to dealing with crime in this country. Forget politics and political party.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot. Now, was Kim, that's cool truth, right? Yeah, man. Kim, just get through quick. All right, 622-9785, 628-6093. Morning. Yeah, man.
Yes, good morning, sir.
You have my full support for Commissioner of Police. I don't care what nobody says. At the end of the day, if the system was working the way it was supposed to work, you would have been in charge, and at this point, you would not have had this level of chaos that we have right now. At the end of the day, it goes back to everything you said. You were toying with everything. And the consequence management in Trinidad and Tobago is greatly lacking. Just like what you said. When that happens, what if you have to have someone with a certain level of foresight. And additionally, you have to have legislation in place to deal with what if the situation turns adverse? What if the situation, and I mean, my opinion about Mr. Deyanna in this whole scenario here is a conversation for a different day. But at the end of the day, if we don't have legislation in place, I remember when you were Minister of National Security, and then we had Mr. Iwatski and Mr. Gibbs coming in with afterwards coming in with a use of force policy. And they didn't get to improve on what they started. You started a good program that was never continued. It was never carried out to its fullest potential, you know, and now we have things escalating to this point. The civilian public and these people that purport this sort of gang violence, they have no idea how much they are in breach of the laws that exist and the laws that could exist as it relates to this type of activity in a general scheme. You understand? And I think that maybe if the opposition has issues with the anti-gang legislation, I have my personal issues with it, but I'm thinking it's just like you said, instead of just trying to put it to bed and just be in opposition, be, you know, cohesive about it. Come together and say, here's what, this is what we don't like, that's what we don't like, fix that, and let's move forward. Yeah. This notion of just opposing everything is wrong, because at the end of the day, just like you said, you need to think about the country first, and not the party, and not vote, is like you say, you know? So, keep up the good work. I applaud you. You have my full support, and I am really, really enjoying the program. Continue to do what you're doing in the midst of all the opposition that you get, because our job is really a thankless one. You understand? So have a good day, sir, and continue doing what you're doing. Excellent, man. Excellent program, Stephan.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Yeah, so we're going again. Director, the first number wrong is 9785. Yeah, 58. Morning. Yeah, morning.
Would you agree that it would make sense to have not just the GED in South or Sun or South or where they currently operate from in the North, but that every division should have a muster unit of a riot squad so that they could respond to these sort of things, right? Or at least you should have a reserve unit and the equipment based in each division to deal with crowd control. That is one. And the other part of it, from your point of view as a former security advisor and Minister of National Security, can you put out there for the public whether assets such as rubber bullets, flashbang grenades, and these sort of things are in the arsenal of the national security to deal with crowd control? So that is something I'm hearing over the past couple of days. Had we had these assets to deploy at the rioters, it might have had a different result, right? And the final thing is, could you give a comment on the process that you would have undergone recently, and how somebody who could have applied for the second job could be the number one contender if the process was fair? Thank you.
All right, so just hold it right there, right? I'll give Gary a few moments here to respond to that. So the use of rubber bullets, tear gas has been mentioned in terms of riot situations. And then the situation with...
Speaking about a counter-terrorist unit, you can't have in every division, right? Because the numbers, it's similar to SWAT. You will probably have a few units in California or wherever, because it's very rare when you bring them out. What they spend a lot of time doing is training constantly, because they will be called out probably twice per year in a situation like of this nature. So you just need to have one or two in South and Port-au-Prince, and with that, within 20 minutes, any part of the country, you can respond. They must be properly trained, and I established that 80 police officers were supposed to be transferred to the National Security Special Operation Group. I don't play politics. The Manning administration had that. They had a unit for that under SWAT called the DATS, the Direct Action Task Force. I cheated, I looked at what they got out of SWAT, and I brought it back. And that's why I changed the name. Stephen Williams refused. He never brought the officers into, and it's a little selfish games. It's my police service. But a police service must have a unit like this. With a unit like this, you must have the type of equipment that I mentioned. Armored vehicles. You can't go in a volatile situation in the back of a pickup. You have to protect the lives of the officers so that they can protect you.
That's right.
There's a type of there's a riot vehicle that can clear debris within seconds. You don't have to wait on the city corporation to spend 6 hours because sometimes they are concerned to get into the location. Right. Then you have the minimum use of force policy, shields. Then you move from verbal persuasion, where somebody must be very senior as a negotiator to understand how to speak to the crowd to cool it down. I'm telling you, if the commissioner, had he been there, or the deputy commissioner, that may have very well ended, because the public will see, look, you are here to speak to me, I am voicing my concern, and then he will give the assurance that this matter will be dealt with. That was never done. There was no negotiation. There was nobody conversing with the public at that time. Then you have, that said, minimum use of force, verbal persuasion, then to the radio for backup, then to the pepper spray, stun gun, tasers, rubber bullets, and then the firearm as the last resort. In a situation like that, you don't have officers with heavy weapons like that in a crowd. They stay up as snipers in strategic locations in case one person has a firearm, then you can take that person out. All of these drills are something that is there. It's a template. It has not been used. Dealing with the situation for the Commissioner of Police. Yeah. All I'm saying is I would just like the person who is the best suited to get the job, regardless of who it is. It doesn't have to be me. I only volunteered because my perception is you can't do the same thing and expect different results. Right. There's I listed Harold Phillip. Harold Phillip is a deputy commissioner of police. He went into the joint service, the JSC, and in Parliament, and made a misleading statement and said the police service said that they would not accept a non-police officer as commissioner. He said that as member of the audit committee in the police service. Ramesh Dursaran, who was the chairman, said that is not true. Harold Phillip used his position to try to influence and to try to intimidate people. And that is it seems that the police service feel that it's a lodge. Harold Phillip and these others need to wake up and go outside of Tobago and down the islands. There's a world out there. The New York police commissioner must be a civilian. In many other countries in the world, Jamaica, they have had 4 police commissioners who have been non-police officers. Right. In London, most of them are ex-military officers or magistrates. And I'm not saying that a serving police officer cannot be a good commissioner. I have seen very good officers, but at a junior rank, and it's unfortunate. But the very senior ones, just have to look at how they handle Carnival. Look at how they handle this terrorism threat. Look at how they handled this situation yesterday. They are not trained to understanding 21st century policing. Wow.
We'll take about 1 or 2 before we take the break. All right, go back to the phone line for me. 6229-785, 628-1693, 235-367, 623-5373. Morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, yeah.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, Mr. Griffith, I was listening to you, and everything that you were saying sounds good in theory. But this is not London, and this is not New York. This is Trinidad, and I want to ask you a question. Could the police not have handled the situation differently? Meaning, instead of going to the man's house and breaking down the door, could they not have arrested him somewhere else and taken him into custody? They knew they were going into a hostile environment. They knew that it was dangerous. And you said something that this was a person of interest. That's an unfortunate phrase, because this man was described as a murderer and a thief and terrorizing the people in that area. And I want to know, everything that you're saying sounds great. How is that going to work in Trinidad and Tobago? This could have handled much differently had the police done it in a different way. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot. Well, all right, so hold it on the calls. We'll give him.
This will be quick. That is a person of interest. I am not going to refer to the man as anything other than a person of interest. And to say that, you know, it's sad. We try to undermine and undervalue our own country. We say it's not London, it's not New York. Why not? Why can't we do it? Our police officers and soldiers go abroad and train in the same courses and top the courses. People are not aware. From the Peter Joseph, I think the Eddie Dillons, the John Sandys, the Carl Alfonsos, all of these officers, we all go to Sandhurst and all of these different academies, and we top it. So it shows that what we have here can be better than anything abroad.
Right.
Our special branch officers go to North America, do the same type of training, and they top those courses. So don't come and tell me about that is London and that is New York. Our officers go up there and show that we are better than them. What was missing is not, we have great police officers, we have great soldiers, we have great members of the protective services. What we lack is management. The management will make these guys perform. And that is what is missing. Again, I could give a quick example. In my 2 odd years as Minister of National Security, how come this never happened? And it's not about I'm not speaking about this minister, what he should do. But I operated in the absence of an operational commissioner of police. There was one incident that is something similar. People remember in Cocorit, when the Minister of Works at the time, he blocked off the road, going to...
Yes,
and they blocked
I remember. And
there were hundreds of persons from Cocorit. And the Cocoritians, they were very upset. Within 5 minutes, I knew the Commissioner of Police will not go there, or the Deputy Commissioner. That's not their job. They're not into that. They like to wear the cane and the gabardine and swing the cane. I went straight on the spot within 5 minutes from my office. Went there, spoke to them, and the whole matter was eliminated immediately. I looked at the situation, saw what it is that they were concerned about, and that is how you do it. That goes back to my point of leadership.
Right.
There's avoidant leadership because the heads of the police service, they don't understand you should have been out there, not have your troops out there and do things that you want them to do whilst in an administrative office air conditioned. And again, going back to the policing, if it is the drills, or as just as I mentioned, special branch and the GB, these men are aware of the drills. They can do it, but they need the leadership to give them the directive to get there on the ground and to have the persons making sure that you are going to protect my back if I do anything.
All right, nice man. You have a few moments on the next side?
Sure.
All right, cool. Because when we return, we're going to take a break. When we return, we'll talk about the terror threat and, terrorism and terrorist cells and what they mean. We'll get all of that when we return, all right? So we're going to talk about that terror threat to disrupt Carnival, the reality of it, because a lot of people seem to think the way it was dealt with and what has been said back and forth, the difference in the 2 stories given by different members of government, that A, they were blowing smoke and this thing wasn't real. So we'll talk about that and how we deal with terror threats or how it's supposed to be dealt with when we return. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. We will continue after this.
Invigorate both mind and body with healthy lifestyle changes. Nicole Huggins and Associates of Health and Wealth Lifestyle invite you to join us on Synergy TV every Sunday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. where we bring you information and education about healthy lifestyle changes. At Health and Wealth Lifestyle, we offer a number of services such as live blood analysis, which can tell you if there is parasites or fungus in the blood and more. Body analysis, see how your organs are functioning. For example, your heart, kidneys, or both male and female reproductive system. Our exercise machine, 10 minutes on the machine is equivalent to 1 hour of cardio exercise. Also available, our eco-friendly products. Taste our sumptuous Rolicious Delight, health drinks, and nature's tea. Come on down to Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73, Eastern Main Road, Barataria, or call us at 221-9874 or 288-1108. Remember, your health is your wealth, and prevention is always better than medication.
This is a call for all restaurants and supermarkets to get your business online.
Get your business on the most cutting-edge, customer-friendly, results-guaranteed food delivery app in the Caribbean, Food Now TT.
It's time to celebrate. FoodNowTT.com is here.
Yes, I said Food Now TT. We're fast, we're efficient, and we are guaranteed to help improve your business by 100%.
For more info and a free sign-up, call 222-9854 or email food@foodnowtt.com or even WhatsApp
341-1892. You can even come into our office at 216 Eastern Main Road, El Dorado, and get your free registration done today. Get your business to be viewed by millions, because with Food Now TT, your restaurant or supermarket is just a click away.
FoodNowTT.com is here.
Want it? Click it. Get it.
The Next Generation Limited. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited. Your original one-stop school shop. Your number one choice for the widest variety of top quality stationery, school books and bags, school shoes and socks, and ready-made uniform. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited is also authorized retailers for a wide range of top brand name products. They're also the home for Sebastian school shirts and pants. Quality you can depend on for generations. And nobody, I mean nobody beats their prices. The Next Generation Limited. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited, with 2 locations to serve you. Number 1, Tabaquite Road, Rio Claro. Telephone 644-BOOK. That's 644-2665. And number 3, Guaguari Road, Mayaro. Phone 630-BOOK or 630-2665. The Next Generation Limited. Next Gen, the Everything Store Limited. Ready to serve you because you are an exceptional customer that deserves exceptional quality, price, and service.
Okay, so we're back and we're in hour number 2, and Gary's just staying over a little bit with us here because we got some other things we want to discuss, and we're going to entertain some calls as well very quickly. The terror threat and how we deal with terrorism in Trinidad and Tobago. The talks of there's an ISIS presence in TNT. Now, I said when they were letting people back in, I said, but it's madness. Yeah. They just let people back in. People who say they went, who proven, you know, I have evidence of them going to train with ISIS, they just letting them back in the country. And with that, I also want you to tie in that. I don't know if you could, but I know that you had a very strong opinion on illegal immigrants in the country as well.
Sure.
And you wanted to, you were moving towards dealing with that particular issue, and then had a big uproar. Oh, you gonna do that? I know you got poor people that so they're paying taxes and they contributed to the economy and but they also we had to face the reality that not all, but some of them contributed to the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago, and they're here illegally as well. So in terms of the terror threat, well, first off, was it real?
Okay. Well, all right, let me go to the last one first. With the illegal immigration, let me clarify. When I did the research again, I looked at a country cannot be secure if it is you can't account for the persons in your country.
Right.
We had 120,000 illegal immigrants, mostly adults, in our country, which meant that for every 7 adults you walk around, the lower probability at least one person is an illegal immigrant. Right. That is madness. If you can't account for 1/7 of the adults in your country, how you expect to secure your country? Right. So what we were doing was crazy. We had to clean it up. People in CSME in the Caribbean say that I was breaching CSME. They didn't understand. You must read your laws. The CSME does not give you full authorization to enter another Caribbean island and stay as long as you want. You have to spend 6 months maximum, and then you must leave. Many of them, they were coming in and overstaying their time. The illegal immigration plays a very big part towards human trafficking, and I'll explain why.
Right.
When it is you come in here as an illegal immigrant, I invite you, you're working for me now, and then I say, listen, I know you're here illegally and you don't want to go back to that island or that country that you live in. I'm going to pay you below the minimum wage. I'm going to give you atrocious working conditions. You will have to be a prostitute. You will have to do whatever illegal. Right. And if you don't adhere to what I'm telling you, I am going to ship you back. That is human trafficking. So illegal immigration plays a big part towards human trafficking. By me doing what I did, I got Trinidad and Tobago upgraded from Tier 2 watch list to Tier 2. It was the first time in years we got upgraded in human trafficking by the US because of what it is that I was establishing as the Minister of National Security. Right. After we got downgraded because we went back to the same thing, I was putting a serious lock on persons entering. Having said all of this, it was not the Donald Trump system where I was saying that all 120,000 must leave. That is not true at all. Just what you just mentioned, none of them pay taxes. You cannot be an illegal immigrant and be paying taxes. So the people who said that, you need to do your homework.
People say when they go to the grocery and they make our groceries, they're paying VAT, so they're paying taxes.
The taxes is that if I'm you're an illegal immigrant and I'm paying you a salary, you are not paying VAT, you are not paying taxes, I am not paying the BIR, the NIS, none of those things. This costs the country, if it is that these 100,000 people become regularized, which is what I was recommending, I was putting a 6-month window. Many of them are hard-working persons. We cannot afford to lose them. If we lose them, there's going to be a big gap in our unemployment, because the number of persons unemployed can't fill not even 1/10 if it is you move that 100,000 out of the country.
Out of the equation.
So
right.
it will affect our economy. However, but if they go to immigration to apply, they will be immediately shipped out because they are here illegally.
Right.
So to avoid that, I did the draft of the 6-month moratorium, giving you a window to come in, promising you we will not ship you back, but now you could have your employer vouch for you. We could know where you're living, where you're staying, so we can be assured that you are an asset to the country. You can't be denied entry based on A, being a liability to the public purse, or B, being deemed as a threat to national security. The majority of that 120,000, they are not like that. You bring them in, you put in moratorium, you regularize their status, they will now be paying taxes. It is now going to inject over 2.5 billion TT into the economy by taxes being paid,
right.
which is more than all the house taxes and stuff that we want. And then with that now, it is going to reduce the concept of human trafficking and of persons having atrocious working conditions. It was a win-win. It is still to be seen if we will ever do that. Going to the system, the situation now with the terrorist
nice. With the terror threat.
The Prime Minister made a comment, and then the Attorney General said something else. I think we spend so much time of the playing, we catch them. The concept of a terrorist cell is a very broad term. Dr. Botewari, when he made the comment, I was surprised he didn't ask the question, because the meaning of a terrorist cell, since he was in cabinet with myself, I said that we had terrorist cells in Trinidad and Tobago. No. So since the period going back, when there were 35 persons who left Trinidad and Tobago to become foreign terrorist fighters, FTFs. For them to travel, you needed to have cells here. So since then, so the question was, you already knew the answer. The Prime Minister, when he was speaking about it, he spoke about it along the line to say, well, yes, there are persons, there's an influence here, there's a presence here, there are persons who provide the support for persons who travel to Syria to become terrorists, they are sympathizers, so the answer is yes.
Right.
The Attorney General's concept of what he was trying to say is, wait, you all hold up, because you don't want the world to believe that we have terrorist cells around here, because a terrorist cell can also be deemed as persons who will press the button, who will operate the trigger. That is not what the Prime Minister was saying. So the Attorney General's concept was saying, hey, listen, you all are misunderstanding what the Prime Minister's point of view. He didn't say we have terrorist cells. And then the opposition leader rightfully said, hey, check the Hansard. He did say that.
Right, and you'll see it.
The point is, the meaning of a terrorist cell is very broad. Going back to the fact now, let me just say quickly. The terrorist cells, as I said, are persons, it can be broad, it can be from persons who can be in clandestine units. There are something called sleeper cells. They stay in a position, work in a bank or work somewhere for years until they get the signal to opt to act. There are those who just give intelligence. There are those who just provide support. And there are those who will actually be ready to press that button. Right. So it's a broad area. In Trinidad and Tobago, we have none of those persons who are actual terrorists. And I want to clarify. There's something called foreign terrorist fighters. There are 30,000 that came from 70 countries that went to Syria to fight. 30,000. Trinidad and Tobago is one of those 70 countries.
Right.
70 of that 30,000 came from Trinidad and Tobago. None of those 70 foreign terrorist fighters have returned to Trinidad and Tobago. Okay. So we do not have any active terrorists in Trinidad and Tobago per se on record. And that's what the Attorney General was alluding to. Whereas in other countries, several hundred have returned to Great Britain, to Belgium, to France, and that's where you have a number of terrorist activities in Europe, because from Syria, they go across to Turkey and slip back to Europe.
They slip back in, yeah.
You can't do that in Trinidad and Tobago. And again, it seems unfortunate that we have a situation we love to glorify and undermine our own country. We keep boasting that, yes, we have terrorism, and whereas other countries, they don't. I was in Egypt last year. As soon as I landed, 43 persons were killed in a bomb in a church. And the way Egypt was operating, you will never know. They kept the area locked down, they did their work, and there was no panic and mayhem and citizens crying and saying how Egypt is littered with terrorism. So we are getting the perception that Trinidad and Tobago is a hub for terrorism, but we are causing our biggest problem by boasting about it, when it is not. Let me just give you the quick stats. In the 21st century, there have been 100 countries that have been hit by terrorist activities. Trinidad and Tobago is not one of those 100.
Right.
61,000 terrorist attacks have taken place around the world in the 21st century. Not one took place in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
150,000 persons have been killed by terrorist activities in the 21st century. Not one in Trinidad and Tobago. So, and again, out of the 30,000 foreign terrorist fighters, most have returned to their countries to cause havoc. Not one of those 30,000 have returned to Trinidad and Tobago. Yet we are seen as a hub for terrorism. I think we need to analyze the situation and understand that, yes, terrorism is something that is global. We are part of the globe. We must not be fearful, but we must be careful. There are things that we can and should be putting in place. Thankfully, both government administration, the previous government and this, they have done their work. Okay. The Kamala Prasad Visesa, by signing UN Resolution 2178, anyone could go online and you will see it. It gives a number of things that we are mandated to do through the United Nations to stop terrorism, to pass information in real time to our allies, to monitor terrorism, to prevent terrorist cells being set up in our country, to expand the scope of, to have persons arrested involved in terrorist activities. We are doing all that is required. This present administration took the baton, they did not drop it, and they have continued on UN Resolution 2178. They have been doing all that is required and more. The Attorney General's office, they have expanded the scope, so not just to arrest persons who might press the button or operate the trigger, but who might provide the administrative, financial, and logistic support for persons, because they are the ones, most of those 70 guys couldn't even afford a plane ticket to Tobago, so they needed the support from people here. So by doing that, it will help. So I think from a legislative perspective, we are online. Operationally, I think we can do much more, such as the special operation group that Stephen Williams refused to support me on when I was minister, making sure there's a public awareness campaign. The public must be trained, and all this is through the police service. The police service can train, have educational campaigns to let the public be aware of certain things that you can look for and monitor to assist. That's an extra 1.3 million eyes and ears that, that could assist. A public awareness, we do not have that. There's nothing that the public is being told to know what to look for, how to operate, and who to call if you see something. An emergency communication system so that information can be passed in real time to the public and not the fake news that we continue to get. Correct. Similar to what we saw in Hawaii recently. Right. Also, a covert operative unit, making sure you have, the same way the Prime Minister spoke about terrorist cells, you have police cells, undercover persons that go deep into the underworld. In New York City, there are hundreds of them that actually are part of the terrorist groups, and they are monitoring them, but the terrorists do not know. Yeah. We don't have that. So there are a number of things that we can and should be doing from an operational perspective. Okay. From an administrative and legislative perspective, I think we are ahead of the game.
Now, just two things again on that particular issue. The Prime Minister said the U.S. had a hand to play. The Minister of National Security said it was local intel. Yes. People have been saying, well, how are you going to be saying on the same cabinet have two different stories? Yes. Right? And that's one. And two, should it have been made public knowledge? Right, okay. That there was a terror attack to disrupt Carnival?
There was involvement by the U.S. Thankfully, because of the signing of the UN Resolution 2178, and because the government has adhered to it, the U.S., they picked up, something was picked up, and they worked with our local intelligence agencies. Right. So it was a collaborative effort. The operation was solely local, by our local law enforcement
agencies. The operation to go and apprehend the individuals.
Correct, yes. Right. But the actual intelligence gathering, it was an effort between different intelligence agencies, inclusive of our international allies, that being the U.S. Good. I think what we need to do is to make sure we don't, it's when you profile people, we have to be very careful not to profile units on organized religions, because when you do that, sometimes you box people in a corner. If you accuse me of being something, well, I might as well be one. And that is we have to be very careful how we deal with those matters. What was
the other question is, should it have been made public knowledge? Should they have made the announcement, listen, we have a terror threat to disrupt Carnival?
Going back again, going back is how it is you present something is how people are going to buy into it. Again, unfortunately, sorry for beating it like a dead horse, but lack of leadership. Anywhere, let's go look again, New York City or anywhere else, a situation of a possible terrorist attack, who will do the press conference? The Commissioner of Police. But you send a corporal or a sergeant from the public relations unit to say, well, we have heard that there's a plan to disrupt Carnival and we've arrested some and investigations are ongoing. You have automatically triggered panic in the whole country. Exactly. And that then caused the commissioner to have to then get in after the fact, but by then the horse was already bolted. He should have been there for a press conference of that magnitude, and the goal commander. But no, you send a sergeant to go and do your job for you, and because he didn't do it in the right manner, it caused problems. Because of the US and the UK sending those advisories, we were left with very little choice. But what should have been said, because If it is that you have it under control, fine. But when those advisories came, people started wondering, why are the US and French and the British sending these advisories? They know something that we don't know. So I think the police, they were forced to say something. What should have been said is, when you do that, I always have this line, you shouldn't be half pregnant. Go out, listen, we have intelligence working with our allies that there was a plot to try to there's a terrorist attempt. It has been dealt with, it is under control, and there's no concern.
Right.
Straightforward. You go and say, well, we have arrested some people, but investigations are ongoing, and we might arrest a few more. People start checking themselves, and they say, oh, wait when you go there, you have to be assertive, you have to be sure, and you have to put the confidence in the public. Go out there, we are in control of the situation.
We have this under control, go and enjoy yourself, Carnival is on.
By the time the commissioner finally said it, it was too late. People went in there playing. Many people stopped.
And then to the way that you put that across affects the foreign element too, because you have a lot of tourists coming in for this event. So when tourists here, people that potentially coming in for Carnival, and they hear a junior officer or whoever addressing a press conference like that, and then putting it across in that manner, it gives them a level of uncertainty. Well, boy, maybe I shouldn't go there because they didn't sound like they're too confident in what they're doing.
Mayor, I had meetings with 3 New York police commissioners, with Bernard Kerrick, Bill Bratton, and every one of them, and Kelly. I went to one police plaza on several occasions, and they showed me the 4 principles that turned New York City from being a crime-riddled city, from police officers being known as pigs to being known as America's finest, was a transformation, not it's based on good management, good leadership, measurement of performance, and accountability. Okay. I used those, and it started changing the image of the police service. People started trusting the police service. By trusting the police service, it was the highest respect and trust they had in years, and by it, it increased the detection rate because the public were willing to give information. Right. That's what we need to do, those 4 principles. What we saw for Carnival, there was a total lack of leadership.
And then from the Minister of National Security, the Commissioner of Police level, had you held either post, would we have seen 2,500 police officers not reporting for duty on Carnival Monday, Tuesday, considering you just made an announcement that there is a terror threat to disrupt Carnival?
And again, it was lack of leadership. Every year there's going to be a problem. I recall every year there's a problem with glass bottles. Right. With the glass bottles, I automatically called in all the stakeholders from the Carnival bands, from the people who make the drinks, and they say, yes, we have no problem, let us know in advance. We put everything in place. As soon as I left cabinet, somebody else in cabinet said, no, you can't do that, because if I don't have a Caribbean in my hand, people wouldn't vote for us. And they brought it back. Those are the exact words. And I said, well, partner, I had a hint. There are other things that people wouldn't vote for us for, by the way. Yeah. And the cabinet note was pulled back. That played a very big part, because what you do, you have to be proactive. You have to make sure you go out there and, what was it? There was a point that you were just mentioning.
But the 2,500 police officers?
And that's my point. So you look at the issue, you deal with it. And I dealt with it. And now the same thing with San Fernando with glass bottles being thrown. Every year since I left, the Commissioner of Police has a right to go to the Minister. Minister, there's a clear, the biggest concern we have for Carnival is glass bottles. Can we start from, now I spoke to the Mayor of Port of Spain, a very proactive person. Guess who was the one person who was there? The Mayor of Port of Spain, Mr. Martinez. He was there, and I spoke to him, and he is going to do the same thing this time to ensure you have these meetings with stakeholders about glass bottles to ensure that you can minimize incidents for Carnival. Going back to that situation, I noticed I wanted to make sure Carnival was locked down. So yes, I had helicopters, GPS tracking, monitoring the bands, having reps from every agency in the operations center, looking at all the data of when incidents took place. So we knew between 7 a.m. and 8:15 a.m. on Juve morning at the corner of this street and Arpita Avenue, gangs pull up, and we just, anywhere they went, they were locked down. There were no fights, no incidents, no stabbings, nothing at all. Going back with I realized to do that, we must have a full complement of police officers. But there was a glaring absence of over 1,000 every year. Right. What caused it? We realized that the police officers, they were demoralized, and they saw it as an avenue. Listen, I'm here working heavily for Carnival Monday and Tuesday. There's nothing extra in return because it's a national duty. And I could go and be a head of security for a band and make $1,000. Right. So, and that is basically, we did the research, that's what happened. I did a cabinet note. I said, listen, I want to lock down Trinidad for Carnival. I sent an incentive of $500 for every officer. It came up to $2 million, a drop in the bucket to ensure that
that's small. Yeah,
and it was an incentive, it lifted morale for motivation, I don't know if all the officers ever got it, but the message was passed, and it put it up to a 90-something% attendance for Carnival 2014 and 2015. Anywhere you turn that Carnival, you were seeing police officers.
Yeah.
It was the highest visibility, it was the heaviest presence, and 100% on all three television stations said it was the safest Carnival ever.
Okay.
That is what you do. Think out of the box. Don't just sit back and then blame the police and now we're talking about we're going to arrest them and discipline them. All right, they should not have. I'm not condoning anything that is improper. But sometimes when you check back, if 1/5 of a whole force is not turning up for work, rather than blame the individuals, look at the issue and try to solve the problem.
Solve the problem.
So that's what I did.
And just finally, licensed firearms. Citizens arming themselves or having the opportunity to arm themselves.
We should never get to the situation of what we saw recently in Florida in the United States, where it's your right to bear arms, that you have a right to get a semi-automatic rifle. Having said that, it is your right to protect yourself here. There's a law that gives you that authorization through a firearm user's license. I think it is totally unprofessional in the Office of the Commissioner of Police that 7,000 applicants could have their applications there on file, and you refuse to deal with it. When you do that, you cause a window for corruption to take place. And I could speak to many people who will be aware of this, paying $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 that you have to pay for training, and then you might get your application approved. If the Commissioner of Police does his job, those 7,000 applications, fill it out. You don't have to approve all. You approve 4,000 and you reject 3,000. It seems that what he does not want is when those 3,000 are rejected, he then has to go to the appeal board to meet with all of these people to explain why he did not approve it. But that is your job. Right. I did the same thing. There was an issue with work permits where it was alleged that persons were paying money under the table to get their work permits and ministers' permits. And what I did, instead of having it piled up, every single one, I spent 5 weekends straight from Saturday to Sunday for 18 hours, clearing up the thousands of outstanding applications. If you fill it up, nobody could come under the table and try to bribe you to say, pay me $5,000, $10,000 for a work permit or a minister's permit.
Right.
Do your work on the table, and there'll be no reason for anybody outside using that window for corruption. 7,000 applications, you refuse to touch it, do your job. If you don't do your job, it is going to cause that situation. Quickly, the same thing with bar licenses. It is a banana republic system we have, where the police service will just tell someone, you're having a charitable dinner, 50 police officers. You're having an all-inclusive party, 100 police officers, and you have no choice. And then on fire officers as well. I tell you, you go to a World Cup game, a football game in Europe, there's one fire marshal, here you have 100. And they tell you, you have no choice, you have to pay us. That is extortion. It is wrong. It is not done anywhere internationally. What you will see if you go look at European football today, you will see about 5 police officers, but you will see hundreds of persons in yellow jackets. What my recommendation is that to approve for these police officers to work off duty in those yellow jackets instead of private security. That is that's what happens. But no, the police will hire 100. They all go in the stands to watch the game, and then the company now has to hire the people who have in the events, hire private security to do the searching, to do the scanning, to do the checks, to act as stewards. It's the same in Lord's Cricket Ground anywhere in the world. I'm trying to first to get it right, because when you do that, people look at you, listen, you're telling me to hire 100 and 200 of you all, and you all are not doing anything for this event. Other than sometimes stop the event, and you really didn't have authorization to do so because you didn't get the facts right. These things affect the public confidence and trust in the police service. Whoever is commissioner, I hope that they get the job done and stop using these avenues, because it does nothing but to affect the image.
So I'll tell you what, we'll take a few calls here before we wrap things up with Gary. 6229785, 6286093. We're talking about the terror threat, of course, terrorism in Trinidad and Tobago. We talk about the licensed firearm. Just to give the statistics on that firearm issue and the right to bear arms, statistically, crime goes down.
Well,
is that accurate?
With the FULs?
Yeah.
Well, the people who may be concerned of persons with firearm users license that it will cause crime, there's a less than 1% of persons with a FUL that has been the cause of homicides or anything like that in this country.
Right.
What we need is a more stringent approach for persons who have FULs. You have an FUL, or even a police officer or a soldier or a private security officer. There's no proper mandate for them to go on a range. There's no proper mandate to make sure that you monitor them, to make sure they have good body and mind. But when they first acquired it, to what happens several years later, they might have a domestic, financial, personal problem, and they still have a firearm. That is danger to other persons.
To other persons.
So all I'm speaking about, the commissioner never has taken this into consideration, but you must do a stringent test to ensure if I have a firearm, that is an enormous responsibility. Yeah. I must make sure that the state must ensure that you go on the range to use it constantly, that we make sure that you do the psychological testing that you had to do prior to acquiring it, to make sure that you're still of that sound body and mind. Right. And it plays a part to even assist the police, because if you have private security officers who have FUECs, they are basically supplemented. They have the police officers, they have powers of arrest. They have more powers than a soldier. So it should be used by the police in some manner to assist them in security.
All right, so we take your calls. We take about 2 or 3 calls before we wrap things up. All right, guys, so you can patch them through 6229785, 628-1693, 235-3676.
Yeah.
Morning.
Morning, brother.
Yeah.
Morning, to the brother here.
Gary Griffith.
Yeah, Mr. Griffith. Mr. Griffith, I like you for the job. Your body language is very good. You're fluent in speaking, which is a very good thing. And the next thing is, I like you for the job, and I'm just going to get the point. That is the reason why I was still calling that sergeant, that inspector from Shogunas. Johnny, this is fellows can be still giving the police officers some training then, because the police he's doing his job good. And I watch the Minister of Security when you're put more for the carnival, he's stopping over. You can't speak like you have just you bypass these fellows and them. He's stopping over. You really meaning of that? He's stopping over. After going in them position, they don't start to get fat. Have a good day.
All right, man. Yeah, I think he was talking about, you and the position of a commissioner of police. I think a lot of people in Trinidad and Tobago, I take a poll tomorrow, you know. Morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Gary. Good morning to you and Stephan. I'm very heartened by what you said. I'm glad there's somebody with a clue and how to solve this problem. What I want to ask is, this guy who made the threat yesterday to kill the police officers, what do you think about that and how would you manage it? Thank you.
Right. Well, I think that again was news that was sent deliberately to instill panic. Right. And we have to be very careful to make sure that these things would not be spread, which is why it is important to have that emergency communication system. Yeah. So the police can pass on to all members of the public. This is not true, because and fake news, true fake news.
Yeah, a lot of fake news being generated.
Again, in the videos, my take on it is, if you touch, it happened with me when there was a soldier was killed, and as a minister, I spoke to the commissioner and the chief of defense staff, and we bombarded that area with forces. Right. And because my take on it is, if you touch one, you touch all. Right. And people say, well, but it happens worldwide. You have to make sure that, listen, that person, the police service, they must be held to a higher standard, but in the same manner, they must be protected. Right. Which is why I continue to push for the armored vehicles and so forth. They must get that protection. So in London, for example, police officers don't even carry firearms, but you can't put God past your thoughts and think of touching a police officer. If you do that, within minutes, as I said, you're going to be bombarded with armed persons with the type of equipment you've never seen before. Wow. That was my take on it. If it is you touch one, you touch all. And you don't put God past your thought to feel that you can go after a police officer.
Wow. We take this call.
Synergy.
Yeah, morning.
Morning. I'm trying to get on the...
You're live. You're live.
Yeah. Hello. I'm trying to get on the program this morning.
Yeah, you're live. Go on, make a comment.
Yes, that's fun. Morning to you and Mr. Griffith.
Good morning.
I have a question for Mr. Griffith. Right? Back a few years ago when they had the Marshall concert in Chagramas and stage collapsed, right? There were fire service officers there, and they more or less had the scene under control, helping people and stuff. If you had one fire marshal, what would have been the situation there? Right? And also, last question, Mr. Griffith, if you become the commissioner, you stop police officers from working extra duty, right? would that mean now that your company, your security company, would get all the contracts?
Good question.
If you can answer these two things.
Sure, good question. Okay.
All right.
First one. It so happened that I was the person in charge of security at the Marshall concert. I stated what was required to prevent it from happening. What you're trying to say is that all the parts in the world, they are all wrong and you're right in Trinidad and Tobago. You want to get your extra kickback. So because of this, any event, fire officers are the ones. I was the one who was coordinating the disaster, the situation, not the fire. The fire officers, then I was the one who had to show where you had to lay off the persons, where you had the emergency response, where we were getting the vehicles, all of that. So that nonsense you're speaking about, that is not the role. And the only Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service has that perception that anytime there's an event, we want 100 fire officers. You, sir, you want to get your extra money for a fun event. So that works nowhere else in the world. I just went Trinidad and Tobago versus USA in Colorado, one fire marshal. Well, maybe you are more qualified than the US and London to say, well, suppose the stage had collapsed in Colorado, probably we should put up 100 marshals just in case. That is when you want to make extra money. Stop using private events for your own. Going back to your second point, if you listen, get some ears and listen to what I said. I said worldwide what is done is, and I said it just about 5 minutes ago.
Just about 5 minutes ago.
To avoid the ignorance of people like that who want to make the money on the back end. You want to be a fire officer or police officer and go and sit down in the stands to watch the concert and do nothing and have the persons having to put out for private security. What I said, as is done worldwide, I was the security manager for the West Indies team at the World Cup, T20. You go to Lords, 5 or 10 police officers and about 200 persons in yellow jackets. What I am saying is that the persons in the yellow jackets should not be from private security, but you must listen. What I said is that the police officers and fire officers should be working off duty, putting on those yellow jackets and doing the job that is required for policing. Which will be tickets, ushering, aisles, making sure the aisles are clear. But you see 10 fire officers in Trinidad and all of them stand up and the whole aisle packed. They serve no purpose. You put the yellow jackets, it becomes a sense of authority. You know what the fire officer said? That is not our job because when we tell the people to move, they're not listening to us. So why are we hiring you for? We got to get it right. You put on the yellow jackets, you now work for the client who know you now have authorization to tell them you need to clear the aisle, you need to move here. And that is my point. So you remove the private security so that the police and the fire services can now be doing jobs that is required in that capacity.
Instead of a private security.
Instead of the private security.
Right.
So try again.
All right, so we take one more, and then we wrap it up here. 7:31. Yeah. All right, so we take one final call. Morning.
Morning.
Yep.
The police service has much to be desired to give them the teeth with the anti-gang law, to pass the anti-gang thing. They'll have the trunk with power. Two, the gang leaders that we know, they have very good stuff with right now with the government. That is the first issue to be dealt with. You understand? But they are reaching the president's house. They have contracts with big money. And then sometimes a man keeps your cell phone for your car. They know, the police know how to get it back if they want to get it back. And sometimes they even give the gang leaders the flavor to the community leaders. Thank you.
All right, so I think the point he's alluding to is that a lot of the gang leaders have government contracts as contractors.
Yeah.
One was even in the president's house, he's saying. And the other point that he made at the start was what? The police service leaves a lot to be desired in terms of the anti-gang legislation and how much power would be given to them.
There must be a special unit, and the unit that I was planning to draft if I ever became commissioner was to have an elite unit and have those persons properly polygraphed.
Right.
When I did the interview, the individuals there, I was saying that if I am the commissioner of police, I should be polygraphed. But you want to polygraph special branch officers who secure the prime minister and president and so forth, and not polygraph the person at the top. Suppose the commissioner of police is corrupt. Suppose he's involved in illegal activity or with gangs.
Yeah.
And persons in the interview said, well, no, if it is that the person is unwilling to, would you deem that person then of being corrupt? I said, no, but there must be a red flag. If you are commissioner of police or deputy commissioner, why would you not be reluctant to be polygraphed?
Exactly.
And we don't have that. But again, it shows lack of, you must let people do as I say, but not as I do. forming a unit like that and making sure that these persons are all properly polygraphed on a regular basis will ensure that there are no leaks. That's the problem we have. There will always be a small element of corruption in different organizations, but you must make sure that that elite unit that deals with gang warfare, terrorism, or so forth, they must not have any influence at all. So when you make a raid, whatever, you're not going to have tip-offs. And these things will play a big part towards it. Going back quickly to the Marshall concert, you should ask Marshal Montano who he was speaking to when that stage collapsed. It was Gary Griffith, not a fire officer. So the point being is that you don't need 100 fire officers because of an incident that took place 20 years ago in anticipation to justify 100 fire officers stand up to watch a concert. What you need is proper type of security worldwide. But again, that fire officer or police officer, he's right and everybody else worldwide is wrong.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, that's Gary Griffith for you. And of course, you know, anytime we have any issues dealing with crime and security in Trinidad and Tobago, there's a guy that we'll be turning to. So there's a guy I'll contact because I think he has a lot to bring to the table, and it's a bit unfortunate with the process for the Commissioner of Police after they spend all our money by KPMG. And then the whole process, they had a merit system to work with. And I don't know what is going on with that.
Hopefully they'll get right.
Yeah, well, hopefully they will get it right. And just one quick thing I want to ask you before we wrap up. How important a role does the PCA play in terms of situations like that on Monday? Because the Police Complaints Authority, I don't think anybody have confidence in the Police Complaints Authority, because I cannot recall the last time or how many times the Police Complaints Authority has actually investigated something and officers are
I have high regard for the PCA and the individual. The problem, however, is that they are toothless bulldogs. Internationally, you have similar, in the United States, there's something called an internal affairs. Those persons, when they get in there, you start to panic immediately. They keep you in check to make sure that you're not involved in any nonsense.
Right.
The Police Complaint Authority, they don't have the authority as the IA. The internal affairs.
Right.
So they can't fire, they can't discipline, they can't dismiss. They do all the investigation. You have to adhere to what, and then all they do is recommend to a commissioner who takes it and leaves it on his desk. So it means that the police officers will know, you can't tell me anything because I know the commissioner not going to touch it. But and this is where we have situations where police officers could abuse persons, they could refuse to show their ID, they could operate in an obnoxious manner, and it's a small percentage, but that affects the whole image of the police service.
Yeah.
If had I been commissioner, the PCA will have what the PCA sends to me. You're taking it as gospel because they have done the investigation from a neutral perspective,
right.
And the commissioner now should deal with it. But when you have a situation of day of total policing, that was day of total stupidity. The commissioner has refused to discipline those individuals. The PCA, you have to wait on the PCA. You should suspend them. When you have persons walk out of securing a prime minister's home and all of them claim that they were sick, they should be fired. When you have this situation recently with Howard Chinley's wife and a police officer, yes, she did something. His wife broke the law.
Broke the law in terms of driving.
But then if an individual decides to go on social media to speak about a matter undergoing an investigation that you have now, you can compromise that person should be suspended.
Should be suspended.
But
I was making that point to somebody the other day.
But nothing would be done. And that is what will cause the embarrassment of the police service because of these few individuals. But when the PCA submits it, the Commissioner of Police, just like the FULs, will put it on file.
And nothing done.
Nothing done.
Wow. So I'll tell you what, people, stay tuned. We got some other guests in studio. Actually, we have Deborah Bucco Mason and Penelope Spencer. They're supposed to be here. The play is called The Boy Toy, and we have Food Now TT, who is here as well. So we'll chat with them when we return. Thanks a lot to Gary. Gary, once again, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
You know that point you make there with the police officer going to vent on social media? That's the same thing I was telling somebody yesterday. So we'll be back after this. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, our country is falling apart. Our institutions are failing. Crime is out of control. It is our duty to fix it. We are touching on every sector of society. Race, class, and corruption. Nothing is off limit. No holds barred. The cold truth with Kim Cole. The power belongs to the people. Join us right here, Monday to Sunday, 4:45 p.m. to 5:45 p.m.
Crystal Dream Weddings has your perfect day already planned out. So if you need help putting together your big day, come to the Wedding and Lifestyle Exposition and you can win the ultimate wedding prize. Register now at www.crystaldreamwedding.com. Attend the biggest event for the wedding season on March 17th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday, March 18th from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Center of Excellence. 2 couples will win a dream wedding package valued at $50,000 and $100,000 each. 1 couple will be chosen randomly on each day, but you must be present at the Wedding and Lifestyle Exposition to win. Purchase your tickets right now at Zena's Jewelry, Bakery Treats, and Jewelry Paradise locations. Admission is only $100. For more information, like us on Facebook and visit our website at www.crystaldreamwedding.com. This event is NLCB approved.
Chip into Value Optical for Colors. The ultimate carnival experience. See the greatest festival on earth with true color and style. Jump up with sensational discounts on all eyewear. All ads with free polarized sunglasses with every purchase. It's the all-inclusive eyewear deal you don't want to miss. Colors. Powered by Transitions at Apex Digital Lenses and Supernova anti-reflective coating. See press, online, and in-store for more details. Value Optical. Caring for your eyes.
This is a call for all restaurants and supermarkets to get your business online.
Get your business on the most cutting-edge, customer-friendly, results-guaranteed food delivery app in the Caribbean, Food Now TT.
It's time to celebrate. FoodNowTT.com is here.
Yes, I said Food Now TT. We're fast, we're efficient, and we are guaranteed to help improve your business by 100%.
For more info and a free sign-up, call 222-9854 or email food@foodnowtt.com or even WhatsApp
341-1892. You can even come into our office at 216 Eastern Main Road, El Dorado, and get your free registration done today. Get your business to be viewed by millions, because with Food Now TT, your restaurant or supermarket is just a click away.
FoodNowTT.com is here.
Want it? Click it. Get it.
This is We the People, for the people, by the people, and with the people. I love my country. Understand that our country must come first. We are living in sweet TNT, the best island on God's earth. Yes, we are, in my view, the best country on God's earth. It's up to us to make it so. The destruction that's happening in this land, if we don't understand what's going on, we shall become the next victim of it. Stop the crime. Stop the corruption. Stop the bubble. Stop it. Stop it. A desire, a love for country. Put in country first. I love my country. I am Harvey R. Lawrence. I am the voice of truth. Tune in to 104.7 Monday to Thursday at 9 a.m. to hear the truth. Can you stand it? We are speaking the truth.
Eating for Lent is as easy as 1, 2, 3 at Royal Castle with their 3 tasty meal specials. Get the fish combo of 2 succulent pieces of fish, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or the fish sandwich combo of a tender, tasty sandwich, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink. The Castle uses the freshest fish with its famous enticing local seasonings. There's even a flavorful veggie combo option of a sandwich, a side, and a 16-ounce soft drink. Get more options from Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste for Lent.
Visitors and Trinis are loving it. The laugh-a-minute comedy, The Boy Toy, is held over due to overwhelming public demand. Coming from sold-out houses last week, the first play of 2018 continues this weekend at the Central Bank Auditorium from Friday the 23rd to Sunday the 25th of February. It's your last chance to see the scandalous comedy, The Boy Toy, featuring the best of TNT's actors. Tickets available at the Central Bank Auditorium box office from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily and at our usual outlets. Check Facebook and press for details. Bacchanal!
right, so we're back on the inside, and we're just about 17 minutes away from the hour of 8 o'clock. We want to thank Gary Griffith for coming in. We want to thank you for your calls and your comments, to all of the viewers that called in and commented. And right now, we move on to another type of situation here, or event. All right, and RS and RR Productions, the company who gave you such hit plays like Man Kalaloo, What My Best Friend Did to Me, and Hotel 21 in 2017, begins their 2018 season with a brand new comedy like you've never seen before, and it's called The Boy Toy. All right? It's a comedy about lies, lies, and more lies. I know a few people that could relate to all these lies, all right? I know plenty liars, you know. And the play features top Trinidad actors and directors at the Central Bank Auditorium on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. And it's 3 nights only. It's hilarious, and it's a lot of bacchanal, and it features 2 of the lovely actresses that we have here this morning, or actors. Deborah Boku-Mason and Penelope Spencer is with us this morning. Also in the play, you're going to see Nikki Crosby, Richard Raghubar Singh, Aaron Schneider, and David Surrett, all right? And it is directed by Deborah herself and Richard. So, morning to you, lovely ladies.
Good
and
morning.
of course, always a pleasure to have you here.
It's always nice to be here too.
Oh, yes. Brilliant. Well, I know your mother, and you're right, good. So you could say, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
All right. Now,
hi, brother.
The Boy Toy. Now, from the time I saw the name, I say, mature woman, young boy, because that's usually what it's called, a boy toy, right?
You
so,
figure it out.
You haven't been labeled that name title, have you? Okay.
We'll take a deep breath and a pause on that one. But all right, tell us about the play and how everything happened. Well, we don't want too much information.
We're not telling you too much.
But of course, it's the boy toy. It's a younger boy, mature woman. Something that a lot of people out there could relate to.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about it and your characters.
Well, the boy toy aspect of it is one of the storylines in it. This young boy and this older woman trying to get together.
Right.
And the other things that other people that come in and make the whole getting together a little difficult.
A little challenging.
Yes, because of things happen in one space. And we have one space and plenty people, it's kind of hard to get through.
Yeah.
So it's a very funny, entertaining, name-dropping, name-calling, bacchanal kind of scenario that Trinidadians are accustomed to.
But Trinidadian is bacchanal, you know.
Yeah, and it's very...
So you have to really come and see how that plays out.
Yes,
how that plays out.
That connection,
How
trying to get the little lamb.
And how do we resolve that?
Yes.
Yeah. How that plays out. That's what Penny's talking about it, and I'm laughing just thinking about
it.
What we are doing and how we are preventing this cougar from getting through with this challenge, or getting through, or not getting through.
Or not getting through.
Or not getting through.
And then the part that all the friends play.
Yes, inside of the...
Yeah, so that's one space.
A Spanish woman come inside of the play.
A Spanish woman?
A Spanish woman come inside the play. A horny husband come back home. You know, these kind of things. You know, these little
friends.
things.
It's about friendship as well.
Friendship.
And what friends do to each other.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, yes.
Lies and more lies.
Now, I understand that there are examples in this play of, government officials and stuff, and other high office holders who have a young thing on the side.
Right. Okay, some of those things I mentioned, some of those scenarios, we try to
what we hear from our society.
It's not us, we are just mirroring what happens.
You're mirroring what happens because, well, I mean that is something that happens on a regular basis.
So that the audience will be able to relate.
Yes.
Because they will say, all right, I wonder if it's, that kind of thing.
Because we know it have plenty people out here. They have their wife and thing, and some have their husband, but they have the little young thing on the side.
Well, we allude to that as well. So.
But well, we know that this happens.
And Arab try to bring quality kind of entertainment always to the people.
Yeah.
So when you come, they guaranteed a good laugh. A good thought.
Yeah.
I wonder if I will catch you for the
Yes.
kind of thing, that kind of process.
I got that from Man Kalaloo. That was absolutely hilarious.
Yes.
And it's the same, actually, I think it's the same writer.
Same writer?
Same writer.
So is that kind of
Yeah, same writer, and then we just took the work and we adapted it, of course, to make it us, Trinidad, local. You know, the energy of who we are as a people comes out on the stage kind of thing.
How long you all been working on this particular play, and how you all came up with
a month and a half?
Yeah, a month and a half.
Who came up with the concept?
Yeah.
We call it
a month and a half?
Yeah. And in that month and a half, we had carnival, and we have plenty people who love the carnival. So, right.
Well, I was wondering that because you say a month and a half.
Yeah. With carnival inside of there. Hello,
all left out effects? You went to all.
We did all.
Play like this play is real easy to do because it's enjoyable. So you can do a party and then come back to release and you feel it's still in a party.
And you feel like you're still in a party.
Because we're laughing at fools and
That's
it's
thinking about it.
A month and a half of rehearsals.
Yes.
Right? How many hours you all put in?
About 3. We put in about 3 to 4.
I mean, what I'm saying, you all are into this for a long time now, so it must come.
Yeah, well, David is fairly new, as you remember when he came on with me the last time. So, you know, he is the one that we have to really work with more than Aaron or Penny or Nikki or myself.
I don't know how all it
it's just the process, the rehearsal process, doing it over and over.
And it's like anything you do, you enjoy it, somehow it comes easier.
Right.
It's like anything, it's not like something we've been forced to do. So you like get tedious, so it gets challenging. This is enjoyable.
Yeah, and I want to say that we are always working on the piece of work. So even as we open, we still tweaking, we still.
So like come opening night and come the final night and they get two different
plays.
It grows.
It grows.
And so whatever happens in the society at the same time.
We add it. We could put it in one time. We could do it like that. Yeah.
So we always try.
So we are always working on it. Always making it better.
Fresh.
Fresher.
And a lot of people out there have not seen a play in Trinidad. You wouldn't believe the amount of people have. You would tell
like
me
your friend.
I'm telling you, a lot of people. I mean, actually, the one that I went to Man Kalaloo, that was like the first play I ever, because I never got an opportunity before that.
Right.
I always wanted to go up play, but I never had the opportunity. And when Man Kalaloo came about, I said, well, I'm going to take in this thing. And I went and, I laughed like cry, And that's the thing with these types of productions, that they put on. And when they tell you it's a comedy, it's comedy.
Yeah.
You can't laugh like that in the cinema. You can't go to Vuitton and laugh like that.
Like this.
Yeah.
You can't help
because
it.
And Richard Raghav was saying, and Deborah and myself and Aaron and David when we come on, we all have timing. We know about punchlines.
Yes.
We understand
comedy. We understand
So
comedy.
you're getting real laughs. If you have Trinidad going through real nonsense right now.
Yeah. And you need something to laugh at. To take care of it.
Encourage people who've never been to a play. You don't have to dress up and come. Just kind of business. So you're going to the theatre.
You're going to the theatre. You're not going to the theatre. You're going to the theatre, but come.
Take your friend, your mother, your sister, whoever, and laugh and enjoy yourself. And we have security by Central Bank now, so you can safe parking.
But I saw that because I passed through Port of Spain Sunday evening on my way back from work. And I saw that there was parking available.
Yes, either side.
No problem either side.
Yeah, and Central Bank is a space that a lot of people love. Central Bank to us is like home because that's the first theatre that we really did a lot of our work in.
Yes.
But a lot of the audiences, they love Central Bank. Central Bank is comfortable.
And
it's
safe
park.
So people don't have to be afraid of that.
Right.
They get a car wrecked or stolen.
So you can be totally comfortable when you sit down there, and I can tell you.
And you go back out here.
When you get in there and the play starts, I guarantee you, I'm telling you, it's one of the best experiences.
You lose yourself in the experience. You lose yourself in
there is not a dull moment.
And this play doesn't have a dull moment. Because as we said, it's the same writer, it's the same playwright, Derek Benfield. And you thoroughly enjoyed Man Kalaloo.
Right.
So,
totally.
you're going to thoroughly enjoy.
Totally.
A little more experience.
Yes,
so it will be fantastic Friday, Saturday, and Sunday
at Central
Bank. We're hoping to go south. We're hoping to go to CLR. We're looking at spaces, so we can't say yes for sure we're coming back. But this weekend, we know for sure we are at Central Bank Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday shows 8:30. Friday and Saturday is Sunday
6:30. Sunday is 6:30.
Friday and Saturday
early.
is 8:30.
Friday and Saturday 8:30. Sunday is early.
Yeah.
Because you were saying that somebody was saying that
some people say, yeah, you know, Sunday evening is that time they're preparing for work.
Yeah. No, but they leave the theatre early.
Because how long does he play?
This play will finish about 9ish.
Yeah,
okay, so about 2 hours.
Yeah,
let's say about
on
the intermission in between. Right.
Yeah, so they can
and they could call number 623-0845.
That's Central Bank box office.
Central Bank office after 12 to 6. The box office opens also 338-6024
and
744-7581.
And of course, I think you were showing across the screen the usual ticket outlets.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not going to read that.
Early people.
Electronics in Arima, Bagans, Drugs, Price Plaza. You have Cleves on Frederick Street. You have Medicine Box in Movie Town. You have Mandy's in Trinity Mall, and you have Sharfley Auto Service opposite the Carib Brewery. So we're telling you where you can go and get all the tickets.
Massey Stores, Gulfview as well.
Yeah. You can't say you don't have to come to town and get your ticket. You can go wherever it's convenient for you and buy your tickets early.
Come on.
Come and start a custom carry on. You know that they don't get in. You know, because we have sometimes the door closed, we start out, and people want to come and buy tickets at the venue. So sometimes it's
better to get it
too
before.
Late, yes. So get your tickets, get your tickets
early. That's what we advise. Get your tickets early. So when you come to Central Bank, you guarantee a seat.
Yeah.
You can call for reservations and
reserve your seat if you want.
You know?
All right, brilliant.
Like my slippers just burst. Nonsense happens in the play just like you never know what could happen. And that's what I love about theatre. It's live right there.
But this is the thing. This is the thing. As just before we wrap up and stuff, has there ever been? I mean, I would imagine there's been times, right, that you know, one of the actors on the play says something that you know not that verbatim. That's the line, but that is not the line.
All the time.
Or does something that they want, but wait now. That was
all the
so
time.
That's why you have to go into ad-lib and improvising mode.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I talk about that, I just want to tell people if you're interested in acting, my school, Necessary Arts.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
We have classes beginning. We have a 3-month course, and where we teach basic acting. So if you want to get into this field of acting, Necessary Arts, 334-4787. That is the number to call for to come to do classes. At 3 months course I do, and we're doing basic acting in stage and film. So if you're interested in being an actor, this is where you start. Necessary Arts, 334-4787.
Because everybody has to start somewhere. And
registration right now.
And as Penny says that, I also want to say that RR and RS Production is one of the production companies that always likes to have new talent on the stage.
On the stage.
No, because people are accustomed to us. They see us all the time. And there are some people who will say, oh God, them again, or I see them all the time. But we, RR and RS, like to interject the new energy, new
because
faces.
I was about to ask that. I wanted to ask that, you know, because I have a lot of, I've had in the past a lot of young people who do drama, do theatre, and they do it whether on a school level, university level, whatever the case might be. And I was about to ask that, you know, how is that developing?
Necessary Arts has been nurturing young actors, so you see them on the RS stage, or you see them on the stage just going around now.
Yeah, and then we also have them backstage.
Yeah, backstage.
That's another thing RR and RS Production encourages. Young people backstage to observe how we do, and help, and you know.
And internships. So they go to different people, apart of the 2 months course, is to go to the different companies and do interning backstage and see how it's done. So there's a whole lot of things that is encapsulated in that 3 months. So it's a very lovely course and guaranteed to get something done in this field of theatre.
All right, so I tell you what, people, it is the Boy Toy. Go
Boy
check it out.
The Boy Toy this weekend.
Boy Toy at the Central Bank.
We are ready. We are having the best time on stage. And you're going to have the best time in the audience. So get your tickets and come out and support. And you're seeing the pictures as we are here.
Yeah.
You see the best looking people in
they enjoy themselves.
And we're having fun.
So head out to the Central Bank Auditorium Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Friday and Saturday shows at 8:30 p.m. Sundays at 6:30 p.m. And get those tickets early. I guarantee you, if you've never been to a play, Go and experience it. It's going to be a terrific experience. You're going to go again and again and again.
Like Stephan.
When you go Friday, you might want to go, on your way out, you might buy tickets for Saturday and Sunday. Because you might want to go all 3 shows this weekend.
So we seeing you.
Oh, yeah. You guys going to see me. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And people, head out. Central Bank Auditorium is where it takes place this weekend. And, oh gosh, after all that stress you're taking after Carnival and work, go and have a laugh now.
All the things that are happening now. Come and take yourself out of it and have the best time.
The best time ever.
Yes.
So I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break. When we return, Food Now TT is here. We're going to hear from them after this. Food. Is our food up?
Visitors and Trinis are loving it. The laugh-a-minute comedy, The Boy Toy, is held over due to overwhelming public demand. Coming from sold-out houses last week, the first play of 2018 continues this weekend at the Central Bank Auditorium from Friday the 23rd to Sunday the 25th of February. It's your last chance to see the scandalous comedy, The Boy Toy, featuring the best of TNT's actors. Tickets available at the Central Bank Auditorium box office from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily and at our usual outlets. Check Facebook and press for details. Bacchanal!
Air conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including manual and hydraulic crimpers, pressure test kits, refrigerator parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their 2 locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Roland Street and Bonaventure Main Road, Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then the place you're looking for is Caribbean Tourist Villa, conveniently located at number 7 Methuen Street, Port of Spain, Trinidad, and fully equipped with cable TV and internet. Whether you're looking for that personal escape or it's you and friends, we're here to accommodate you in our air-conditioned rooms. So call us at 627-5423 or 624-6702 to make your booking today. And did I tell you about the pool? So come see for yourself. Caribbean Tourist Villa. It is definitely your home away from home.
Bright Ideas has the largest array of practical and finishing items for the home under one roof. From the most sophisticated selection of exotic flowers in the country to amazing chandeliers, lighting, and wall fixtures. Bright Ideas caters for every room in the house with unique items that you'll find nowhere else. So you can fix up your home, complete that special look, and be the envy of all. With household appliances, draperies, beddings, kitchen and dining room items, outdoor furnishings, TV, electronics, and so much more. Bright Ideas, Marabella, Princess Town, Rio Claro, Point Fortin, and Gulf City. Getting married? Then inquire about their bridal registry or visit them today for that special gift item. For the holidays and for every day, there is a Bright Idea just waiting for you. Bright Ideas with 5 great locations and the convenient opening hours to serve you. Visit them today at Marabella, Princess Town, Rio Claro, Point Fortin, and the Gulf City.
This is a call for all restaurants and supermarkets to get your business online.
Get your business on the most cutting-edge, customer-friendly, results-guaranteed food delivery app in the Caribbean. Food Now TT.
It's time to celebrate. FoodNowTT.com is here.
Yes, I said Food Now TT. We're fast, we're efficient, and we are guaranteed to help improve your business by 100%.
For more info and a free sign-up, call 222-9854 or email food@foodnowtt.com or even WhatsApp
341-1892. You can even come into our office at 216 Eastern Main Road, El Dorado, and get your free registration done today. Get your business to be viewed by millions, because with Food Now TT, your restaurant or supermarket is just a click away.
foodnowtt.com is here.
Want it? Click it. Get it.
Chip into Value Optical for Colors, the ultimate carnival experience. See the greatest festival on earth with true color and style. Jump up with sensational discounts on all eyewear. All lands with free polarized sunglasses with every purchase. It's the all-inclusive eyewear deal you don't want to miss. Colors. Powered by Transitions and Apex Digital Lenses and Supernova anti-reflective coating. See press, online, and in-store for more details. Value Optical, caring for your eyes.
Pharmacist brands Vigorfort for women, scientifically formulated for women. It has been tried and proven and may be beneficial in women experiencing loss of feelings and libido, increased erotic and sensuous energy during intimacy to enjoy gratification, stimulating libido and increasing sexual dysfunction, balances hormone function for menopause, encourages balanced estrogen and estradiol levels in women. Available at all leading pharmacies and online at tntdrugstore.com. Caribbean distributors needed. Contact 760-9680.
Crystal Dream Weddings has your perfect day already planned out. So if you need help putting together your big day, come to the Wedding and Lifestyle Exposition and you can win the ultimate wedding prize. Register now at www.crystaldreamwedding.com. Attend the biggest event for the wedding season on March 17th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday, March 18th from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Center of Excellence. 2 couples will win a dream wedding package valued at $50,000 and $100,000 each. 1 couple will be chosen randomly on each day, but you must be present at the Wedding and Lifestyle Exposition to win. Purchase your tickets right now at Zena's Jewelry, Bakery Treats, and Jewelry Paradise locations. Admission is only $100. For more information, like us on Facebook and visit our website at www.crystaldreamwedding.com. This event is NLCB approved.
This is a call for all restaurants and supermarkets to get your business online.
Get your business on the most cutting-edge, customer-friendly, results-guaranteed food delivery app in the Caribbean, Food Now TT.
It's time to celebrate. FoodNowTT.com is here.
Yes, I said Food Now TT. We're fast, we're efficient, and we are guaranteed to help improve your business by 100%.
For more info and a free sign-up, call 222-9854 or email food@foodnowtt.com or even WhatsApp
341-1892. You can even come into our office at 216 Eastern Main Road, El Dorado, and get your free registration done today. Get your business to be viewed by millions, because with Food Now TT, your restaurant or supermarket is just a click away.
FoodNowTT.com is here.
Want it? Click it. Get it.
All right, so we're back here with Mr. Navin Benny from Food Now TT. Want it? Click it. Get it. All right, that's what we're talking about. And Food Now TT is an app, okay, that you could download from your phone, your handheld device. You could download it. Oh gosh, I always throw my pen all over the place, you know. And once you have that on your phone, you don't have to wait in the long lines at your favorite restaurants or even supermarkets. You can order food from those restaurants or those supermarkets from the comfort of your home and have it delivered to you. Okay? So, Mr. Benny, we are here this morning to talk about registration.
Yep.
But before we get to registration, we just want to elaborate on this delivery app in terms of the drivers and so on and so forth. I know we mentioned some of that last time, but I just want to refresh people's memory about foodnowtt.com and what that app is all about.
Yeah, it's a simple app. You just download it with any iOS system, Android system, and you just download it. and you get the driver that is closest to you, to your favorite restaurant, and they'll deliver it to you on time. That's all they have to do.
That's all they have to do.
All they have to do. Drivers, the question on the drivers are registered to the company. They are vetted, right? They are vetted, so you don't have to worry about security.
Yeah.
Right? Safety, you know, that's a big issue in Trinidad right now.
Correct.
All right? So you don't have to worry about that. The food is delivered. It is in careful food warmers. All right? So it's polite, efficient delivery, professional.
All right. Brilliant, man. Now, we're talking about registration here. All right? And registration in terms of what? Restaurants and supermarkets, or just restaurants?
Well, right now we are in the mode of registering restaurants. We have over 105 registered already, and this is something that restaurants should be part of our directory, so that when people use the app to deliver, they can see clearly from their favorite restaurants that you should be part of this database. So the registration is free right now. Free. You don't have to pay anything, you don't have to invest anything, there is absolutely no overhead. Now, how would you like to make money for doing nothing?
Right.
For doing nothing. You know, businesses, you know, sometimes people are saying that we are in a downturn in the economy and it's hard, it's difficult. So you would look for other avenues to create revenue.
Correct.
And this is one that has been tested a little, and it sees up to 30% increase in revenue for your business. So you wouldn't like that at all?
Of course, you must like that. Anything, 10% increase is plenty, so far less for 30.
Yeah, so the increase in revenue, it gives you free advertisement as part of the package going on right now. You have free advertising with digital advertisement systems right now, DADs. So you have free advertising with over 125 screens, right, in high traffic locations right now. So,
wow.
So you have that going for you. There's no overhead. There's increased revenue. And the thing is, you don't have to manage extra employees.
Okay.
You don't have to pay extra employees. The delivery drivers are completely managed by Food Now TT.
By Food Now TT.
Yeah. Right? So it's completely managed by them. So you have absolutely nothing to do. Just sign on, register right now, and you could go online, foodnowtt.com, or there's some numbers that you'll display right just
That's
now.
right. Yeah, we have some numbers here that I'll give out in just a little bit. But I want to ask you that in terms of the drivers, right? Because let's say a KFC or a Pizza Boys or one of these big chains. They have delivery service and they have drivers that are employed with them. Now, if they register with Food Now TT, where does that put the driver who currently employed with them?
Oh, that's a question that I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer right now. But in terms of that, if they're working for someone already, and they want an extra income, they could work there. But they have to be vetted by our company.
Right. So this also has the possibility that, okay, that driver that a KFC might be managing, they sign up with Food Now TT, the driver gets vetted, and now the driver is managed by Food Now TT, so they don't have to.
Yeah, but once it doesn't
take a kind of strain off of them.
Yeah, and once it doesn't involve a conflict of interest with the other
with the other company.
Yeah.
Right. So that is a possibility. So even drivers who are working for them.
Yeah.
This is another way of employment that they could take up with Food Now TT. So even if you're employed with a restaurant chain right now as a delivery driver, and you want to join Food Now TT, you just come, get vetted, and of course that's a second source of income.
Yeah.
All right, brilliant. So the registration is absolutely free.
Yeah, absolutely free right now, yeah.
And it's open to all restaurants across Trinidad and Tobago.
Yep, all your favorite restaurants, that is open to them, and I hope that they don't miss out on this opportunity.
From the high end to the fast food.
To where you can get it. So you have your business never had a delivery service, you have one now. Which you don't have to invest, you don't have to put out anything at all.
So there's no monthly fee, no yearly fee for these restaurants?
There is some that will work out with the other management of the company. They will work out with the restaurant.
So once you sign up and stuff, there's a small fee that because of is a service that you provide.
Yeah, it's a service. Yeah.
Right, you're not just providing a service to the customer, you're providing a service to the restaurant.
Yeah.
All right, nice. How long before we see supermarkets being put into play here now? Because that's a terrific feature, because I hate going to the supermarket and I hate going to the supermarket for the fact that sometimes you go to the supermarket, they have 9 or 10 registers, but you only have about 4 people working. So you only have 4 working registers then. And you had the line long. You had to stand up in a line. You had to, and it's just a wait, because the thing with people these days is time is money.
Yeah.
So if I have to go to the supermarket and I have to be in the supermarket for nearly 45 minutes an hour, I have just lost 45 minutes to an hour of my day.
Yeah.
And Food Now TT, of course, could eliminate all of that.
Yeah. Well, after March 19, when we launch fully on that, we'll be able to say when the supermarkets will be online.
Okay.
Yeah.
After March 19?
Yeah.
So March 19th is the official launch?
Yes, the official launch date. Of that, people are downloading the apps right now. Restaurants have been registering.
Right.
So it's ongoing, and there's a lot of work that we put in place to make sure that the restaurants are they're part of the system, to make sure that when you use the app, the delivery drivers are vetted and there, so that everything will be working perfectly. Or close to perfect.
All right, brilliant, man.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, we'll give out those numbers now. To register for free today, what you have to do is call 222-9854. That is 222-9854, 341-1892. That is 341-1892. You could also call 662-1951. 662-1951. Sorry, not call, that's WhatsApp. Is that a WhatsApp number? Oh, no. That's a call number. Call 662-1951. And if the WhatsApp number is 341-1892. So you can WhatsApp them at 341-1892 or visit them at foodnowtt.com or email food@foodnowtt.com. So those are several ways that you could get your registration on today. I'll just give you the numbers once again. You can call 222-9854, 341-1892, 662-1951. And if you want a WhatsApp, you want to send a WhatsApp, you can WhatsApp 341-1892. And you can get your registration on there. All right? Also visit them at foodnowtt.com or email them at food@foodnowtt.com to get your registration on. It is absolutely free to register today. And of course, tomorrow registration is free. The launch date is March 19th. And this, of course, is all, this is a way for you to expand the market and get your business online now for free with the first food delivery app in Trinidad and Tobago. All right, so this is going to make everybody's life easier, especially at a time where, like I said, people always they want things on the go.
Yep.
They want things on the go. So if they know they have an app that they can access, that can have food delivered to them, because sometime in the office, you can't leave the office. You have to work through lunch sometimes, depending on your workload, and you want to eat, you're hungry. But you can't come on the office to get something to eat. You call up your favorite, you contact your favorite restaurant, and they have the food delivered to you right there at your workstation. So this is a terrific app. Get involved with it. Go visit them. foodnowtt.com is the website where you can go and download the app as well. It's very easy to download. All right, so Mr. Benny, thanks a lot for coming through. Registration is on, people, so get your registration on those restaurants. All right, and in the meantime, we got to wrap things up for today and put it away until tomorrow. And, I want to just let people know, don't forget, don't be too quick to believe everything you hear, since lies travel faster than the truth. What's that? Oh, no, we had to go to a break. Oh, Lord, only I'm wrapping up and we had to go to a break. All right, man. So I'll tell you what, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap things up this morning. Stay tuned. So I'll give you the quote again. But Food Now.
Ladies and gentlemen, our country is falling apart. Our institutions are failing. Crime is out of control. It is our duty to fix it. We are touching on every sector of society. Race, class, and corruption. Nothing is off limit. No holds barred. The cold truth with Kim Cole. The power belongs to the people. Join us right here, Monday to Sunday, 4:45 p.m. to 5:45 p.m.
Prostat, the ultimate prostate formula with standardized herbal extracts used by thousands of men to ensure optimum prostate health and alleviate symptoms related to an enlarged prostate or BPH. Available at leading pharmacies and online at tntdrugstore.com.
Chip into Value Optical for Colors, the ultimate carnival experience. See the greatest festival on earth with true color and style. Jump up with sensational discounts on all eyewear. Alliance with free polarized sunglasses with every purchase. It's the all-inclusive eyewear deal you don't want to miss. Colors. Powered by Transitions and Apex Digital Lenses and Supernova anti-reflective coating. See press, online, and in store for more details. Value Optical, caring for your eyes.
Invigorate both mind and body with healthy lifestyle changes. Nicole Huggins and Associates of Health and Wealth Lifestyle invite you to join us on Synergy TV every Sunday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. where we bring you information and education about healthy lifestyle changes. At Health and Wealth Lifestyle, we offer a number of services such as live blood analysis, which can tell you if there is parasites or fungus in the blood and more. Body analysis, see how your organs are functioning. For example, your heart, kidneys, or both male and female reproductive system. Our exercise machine, 10 minutes on the machine is equivalent to 1 hour of cardio exercise. Also available, our eco-friendly products. Taste our sumptuous Rolicious Delight, health drinks, and nature's tea. Come on down to Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73, Eastern Main Road, Barataria, or call us at 221-9874 or 288-1108. Remember, your health is your wealth, and prevention is always better than medication.
Okay, people, so once again, we've had a productive morning. We hope that you've been educated in terms of strategies to fight crime in Trinidad and Tobago. Also, Food Now TT, you know, I was just talking to them about time and delivery, and we're going to get to that when they appear next on the program. So look out for that, but get your registration on with them, you restaurants. From the big restaurants to the big, you know, from the big conglomerates, everybody, you have a restaurant, this is an app that you will be interested in, so get in tune with that and contact them. In terms of the boy toy, make sure and get out there to the Central Bank Auditorium, get your tickets at the outlets, and go see the boy toy. I guarantee you, going and watch a play is one of the most entertainment, relaxing things that you will do all weekend long. Okay? So until tomorrow, don't be too quick to believe everything you hear, since lies travel faster than the truth. And yes, this is not a rerun. I said it a little while ago and then we had to go to a break. So I say it again. And until tomorrow, people, stay safe and have a productive day. We out.